Yeah, good morning and happy Tuesday to those who celebrate Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you on a really interesting Tuesday morning. So we did something that I think if you asked us months ago, would you ever accomplish this task? The answer would be no. The answer would be no.
It seemed like something that was so far in the distance, you'd never get there.
Kind of feels like when you have a guidance counselor in high school and they say, so what are your reach schools? And you say Harvard. Yeah. And they say, yeah, well, maybe let's not reach so far.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, UPenn. Yeah, no, see, still Ivy League. Like let's talk Chico State, maybe. No. What happened last night was we had our very best friend in the whole wide world join us for dinner. Yeah, that's right. Beat writer that covers the Padres for the San Diego Union Tribune, Kevin Acee, sat down. We broke bread. He still hasn't said that he loves us.
No.
Which is okay. I guess that's okay.
We have audio proof he said it. He said it on the show one time.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
Yeah, but
although
in text,
he felt coerced.
Right.
Yeah. And that's like, it was like a hostage situation.
When we sent the text, though, his response was, "This changes nothing, guys," which
I had a lovely time.
It was amazing.
We know you did. I did. TD absolutely did.
All day.
But Kevin Acee, he seemed fine. He seemed like he had a fine time.
I like to think he had a lovely time too.
I hope so. I mean, we did all the things.
2 hours went by like that, and all of a sudden Kevin was standing up like, guys, I gotta go.
Yeah. He had a long drive home. Everyone got home safely. Everybody enjoyed the night. Okay, if you haven't been to Barbusa in Little Italy, holy smokes. Now, Michael, who is the owner of Busa, which is an espresso martini that is made with oat milk. It's espresso martini in a bottle.
It's so good.
Came on Bar Car Friday with us, and that's how we got to meet Michael. And then he goes, hey, I don't only do this. In fact, people probably know me better for my restaurant. And we're like, what restaurant? And that was our first introduction to Barbusa. This is our second time going. Second time for all of us. That place holds up. That place holds up. Incredible food there. Highly, highly recommend. And on a Monday night, a rainy Monday night, I love the fact that the environment was like, you wouldn't know that it was pouring rain outside.
No.
It was full. People were laughing, having a good time. Kevin Acee is our best friend.
That's right.
It was great.
High fives everywhere.
Yeah.
Besides great food, I mean, the ambiance of the place. It's just a cool place to hang out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very cool. They're opening a new restaurant called Layla or Lala. It's LALA. It's right next door. Excited to check that one out too. Okay, so alongside our dinner date, and Kevin Acee is going to join us at 8:30 to give us a little bit of an update on the Padres because he's heading out to Arizona in less than a week because the Padres open spring training early. They're going to Korea. They're going to face the Dodgers in the first regular season meetup overseas. And so they got to get started on work early. In fact, the Dodgers are going to spring training on Thursday, I believe. So he's got his work cut out for him, a truncated offseason for Kevin Acee, a longer season for him and the Padres out there. So be interesting to get his insights here coming up in a little bit. And Jonas Knox on site, Radio Row, Super Bowl 58, Niners, Chiefs coming up this Sunday. Two Pros and a Cup of Joes just finished up their show, so he's going to be joining us very shortly on the air.
Might have been their best episode of all time.
Is that true?
I listened to the entire final hour. Something happened, and maybe we can get into it with Jonas.
We should.
Jonas can give us the play-by-play of exactly what went down in Vegas, not 20 minutes ago. But I was howling laughing sitting in the studio listening to their last 30 minutes of the show.
Yeah, it was definitely the type of humor that's way up our alley.
Right.
So we will get in there with Jonas.
Toby Keith died.
Yeah, you know what? I saw that text as I was calling Ben to let me in the building because I still have misplaced my key fob to get in here. But as I was reading that, my heart sank. I mean, that is a man who's made some drinking songs, man.
Yeah, I met Toby Keith. It was playing at a little place called the Midnight Rodeo a long time ago, and I went in the back to meet him, shook his hand, and he said, "Hey, I'm Toby. Coming here dressed like that, people are going to ask questions."
How were you dressed?
I was like a 20-year-old kid. My head was buzzed. It was bleached white. I thought I was going to be like this lead singer of 311. I had a wallet chain.
were not his cup of tea.
No, that's all he said to me.
Yeah, I wear these shoes. They're called poop stompers, and we stomp people like you.
Was pretty much it.
Yeah, that's that. He was an entertainer. That's a guy who understood who he was, and he lived it, and he will be missed because he was a hell of an entertainer.
What
That
happens
sucks.
down in Mexico stays in Mexico.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Everyone
sir.
raise a red Solo cup to the legend today.
Yeah, man, that's a thing. That's a real thing. Also,
I guess,
go ahead.
Just to wrap that up, I guess he was fighting stomach cancer.
Oh yeah,
so
I didn't even know.
I know, neither did I. No idea.
I like consider myself a pretty good Toby Keith fan. I had no idea.
Yeah, I saw it come up on Instagram this morning as I was getting ready for the show, and I was like, "That can't be
You
true."
were putting it on your wallet chain.
Yeah,
That means he was
buzzing your hair.
Yeah,
sitting on the toilet.
Yeah. Well, that's where you do show prep.
Yeah. As we all do.
Yeah.
Hey, so coming up in just a little bit, we're gonna get into this crazy story out of the first days of Super Bowl 58 on site in Nevada. Okay, so obviously both of these teams are training at different facilities. They're not going to be sharing a facility because you don't want any sort of espionage, where people are spying on other teams. But there was something that happened, and if you didn't read about this may be, I mean, literally the softest complaint I've ever heard in my life. We'll get to that in a little bit. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah. But first, let's talk about it, guys. So Friday, we have a lot of people interested in going and hanging with us. K&B Bistro, north on College Avenue, right off the 8 freeway. If you want to come out for an opportunity to win a 65-inch television screen to watch the big game, it is the Big Game Tailgate brought to you by Big Rich Stevie Fletch. We've got that. We've got SeaWorld passes. We got the 2-night hotel stay for one of our listeners. Not just a hotel stay, the Seabird, which that is a gorgeous resort in Oceanside. Also, free round of golf for one of our listeners. Free round for 4 playing paintball at Velocity.
And that's breaking news.
Yeah,
That's brand
that's
new.
just added
That's
as
brand
of
new.
yesterday afternoon.
How cool is that?
Well, I want to go.
Yeah, well, and then and a free month of testosterone treatment if you're a viable candidate by Dr. Roy David over at the
That's
Man
right.
Zone.
You want to get your testosterone treatment and head right on over to Velocity.
So the round of
Just lighting
paintball,
up kids.
it comes with unlimited refills on air.
Wow.
And then 1,000 paintballs to share across 4 people, which someone do some math. That feels like a lot of paintballs.
I would use 900 of those paintballs within the first minute of us being out
As you
there.
do the little 2-finger click on the trigger. Yeah.
Done.
on.
Yeah, so we have a lot of great prizes, but heck, if you're just looking to come out and say hello to us, we would love to see you. Also, a bunch of the purveyors of fine beverages who have been on our show during Bar Car Fridays, they're going to be out there. They're going to be pouring. Tony Kanja has basically put out an APB to all of the distilleries and the winemakers and the brewers and the folks who have been promoting these beverages and saying, hey, if you've got stock, you may want to stop by on Fridays.
Right.
So you will enjoy yourself. And, and how could I have forgotten?
As you're wearing them now,
The Pit Vipers have landed. The sunglasses that we teased Ben for, the Doucher 9000s, we actually have a pair to give away. Maybe 2 if Ben will part with the one on his face.
I don't know.
So yesterday you like the orange ones. Now today you're liking the pink ones.
I love the pink ones.
You look good in them, dude.
I think so, too.
You actually wear
I'm
them
getting
well.
more and more used to it. The first time you put them on, I was like, dude, nobody should wear sunglasses like that. And now that you wear it, I'm like, maybe Ben's the only guy who should wear sunglasses like
I
that.
might never take them off.
Wow.
You know what? You know what's going to happen? So this is a true story, and Ben will tell you this. Fletch, when he was getting married, Kendall actually said to him, you should probably just leave the hat on for the wedding.
That's
And
accurate.
Because she got so used to see him wearing a hat that it became a part of his look. Don't ever take the glasses off, and then maybe she won't force you to. Maybe it'll just become so much of her look. She's like, yeah, I mean, I don't even care for his eyes anymore. I just want to see the reflection of myself through pink douchey sunglasses.
You know, I'll take that a step further with my wife because she won't let me shave my beard. ever. She doesn't like my face.
Mm.
I used to be missing this tooth right here.
Wow, shocker. She didn't want you to have a missing tooth?
She wanted me that. Like, she likes it
she-
better with the missing tooth.
Wow.
I think she just wants me
Man.
as hillbilly as possible.
This guy I worked
That's what
with.
she was into, man.
This guy I worked with at Guitar Center many moons ago had a missing tooth up front, and he would eat mashed potatoes and just pump them out like a Play-Doh factory right out of his mouth. It was cool.
It was pretty nice having that because you talk about straws, like just right in there, bro.
Cigarette holder.
Everything.
It does it all, man. It does it all. Do you ever change up the hat, or is it always a baseball hat? Like, you ever go, you know what? I'm getting fancy. I'm gonna do a cowboy hat.
You know, I really like a bucket hat actually,
A bucket.
and I feel like a bucket hat with the douchers is peak look.
Yeah.
You know what? You're probably right.
I hate beanies.
Beanies.
Why?
Oh,
They're-
okay.
I get too warm.
Like a wool cap?
Yeah, you boys know I run hot.
Yeah, you do.
But
Yeah, it really
but
does.
those doucher sunglasses and a beanie out on the slopes.
I do have a Niners beanie.
Dude, I'll tell you
Yeah,
what.
I mean-
If he threw those doucher sunglasses and a beanie on, I would cross the street if I was walking on the same side of the street. I'd be like, I mean, I know that this person's probably harmless, and I know I probably could handle business, but I don't want to be accosted by
Mhm.
a crazy man because that's what I would think. But I'll tell you what, they look good on you.
Did you mention the 65-inch television? I didn't hear that.
Oh yeah, that was the
Okay,
first.
that
thing
was
I
the
said.
first thing.
But yeah,
Okay.
so if you're looking to win a big screen TV to watch the big game on, we are giving away a 65-inch television. So that's a good one to stop by for. And we're going to drop it off at your house. So that's a big deal as well.
We're gonna bang on your door Saturday morning.
So,
Get ready.
So check this out. This is also a true story. We have a situation on opening night of the Super Bowl where Brock Purdy, in his young days now in the NFL, may have said the coolest thing ever. I mean, it's not like a mic drop moment, but it's as close as you could get in this sort of more politically correct world we live in now. Here's Brock preparing to disappoint a certain someone.
No.
That's my quarterback.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Dude.
You can't do that.
Did you guys watch this?
Yes.
Any of this? I watched most of this interview. They had the two running backs, Pacheco and McCaffrey, on the stage. They had the two tight ends, Kelsey and Kittle, on the stage. They had the two quarterbacks, Purdy and Mahomes, on the stage. Debo and who was the receiver? I forget who the
Was it
receiver.
Rasheed?
It might have been Rashee Rice. And they're going back and forth. By the way, a lot of Niners fans showed up at opening night in Vegas. Not a lot of Chiefs fans.
Mikey Harmon was talking about that last night. The burnout of Chiefs fans after spending thousands and thousands of dollars so many years in a row in the Super Bowl, or like within a short span, that it might be tough for them to justify doing it again. But Niners fans, they did it once 4 years ago, but then they can be right back at it this year. And Vegas is a little easier for Niners fans to get to.
Yeah, a couple hours closer, right? How long
Yeah.
does it take to get to Vegas from San Francisco?
It's a
13 hours.
45-minute flight.
There
That's
was a roar, and I mean a
I
roar.
drive everywhere, so
yeah. But yeah,
You can
I
fly
only
from
drive.
SF to Vegas. This was the case when I was growing up. I'm not sure if it still is, but it's like a $40 flight.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
want to
it's
get away.
probably on like one of those airlines now where they make you pay for oxygen on the plane.
Right,
You can
right.
still fly for $40. Like, but if you want to breathe, that's going to be $30 extra dollars.
Right. Got a $44 shirt fee. I'm
yeah.
sorry, what? Hey, if you want to wear clothes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Them's the rules. And also, if you want to be naked, you got to pay. So there's
Yeah,
no
either
middle
way,
ground here.
Either way.
Either way, we're going to catch you.
But that's my quarterback.
Yeah, dude, I just thought it was funny because it was a set up. And I forget who hosted this. I forget his
Scott
name.
Hansen,
Who
the Red
was
Zone
he?
guy.
So Scott was digging, man. He was trying to get something juicy here. So he'd be like, "Oh, did you hear that, Niner fans? Patrick Mahomes called you out." And I was just laughing. I'm like watching this. I'm like, he wants this so bad to turn into a wrestling promotion. Like, and these guys on the stage, they're kind of tired. They're like, "Yeah, we're sort of ready for bed." And he's just like, "Let's go."
Before
And
we get to like, I love
Yeah.
Scott Hansen. I'm a subscriber to NFL Plus just so I can watch Red Zone every single Sunday.
yeah,
Scott Hansen is one of those guys, and I've always thought this about him. He is so good at the one thing. but the NFL Network pays him a lofty salary
Yeah.
to do that one thing that they also feel like they should get him to do other things.
Yeah.
He's not as good in this case.
Well, and also, by the way, nobody would be because this is so forced.
Rich Eisen would be.
Maybe. I mean, actually, I shouldn't say nobody. Yeah, you could probably point to some people who would be able to handle it. But the point is, it's so forced. You have like these star athletes on the stage completely disinterested in being there, and they're trying to get up for the moment.
They're trying to say nothing.
Well, yeah. But Travis Kelce is an example of a guy who gets fiery. George Kittle, too. Like, so when it was their turn to talk, Kittle's trying to fire up the Niners fans, and Travis is getting booed. Like crazy.
Wow.
And Travis Kelce lives in that echo chamber where he's only now heralded for the podcast, for dating Taylor Swift, for being a great tight end, for the playoff wins, for everything. I don't think he's used to hearing boos. He was actually surprised when the fans started booing him. He's like, what? What's this?
Really? What are these noises they're making?
Well, what I got is a little bit of news that's been trickling out Super Bowl week, like this little ditty. The Philadelphia Eagles will play host in Brazil for the NFL's first regular season game in the country. So this came from NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell during his State of the NFL address at Allegiant Stadium. The Eagles, who last played internationally in 2018, will face a soon-to-be-named opponent in Sao Paulo. This is going to be Friday night, September 6th, the day after the season kicks off on Thursday night. It's going to be the first Friday game on opening weekend in more than 50 years. Check out this report. This is an amazing number. With 2/3 of American adults living in states where legal sports betting happens, okay, it's estimated that more than $20 billion will be staked when Super Bowl kicks off on Sunday in Las Vegas. So that's approximately, again, these are approximations. This is based on what they've seen in terms of gambling or sports betting so far this year. But they're approximating that almost 68 million Americans are going to be on sports betting apps or going to windows with bets, and that's going to be combined to bet $23.1 billion on Super Bowl 58.
Am I crazy, or does that number seem light?
No, well, you mean in terms of what it'll actually be?
Yeah.
It's probably going to be higher. I agree with you.
$23 billion on one event.
One event. Okay, so it says...
How many households, TD, you said?
That have the TV on.
Yeah.
They're expecting a 75 share, which would equate to 75% of every television that's turned on during those hours.
That's like 250 million Americans. Like, if you think about how many people are going to be in front of a screen at one point, well, maybe not that many televisions, probably, though. If you include restaurants and bars and stuff, it might be more. What's insane about all this, and that's by the American Gaming Association, is these numbers paled in comparison years ago because legal sports betting has exploded over the past couple of years. So continues to. And then there's this story. The San Francisco 49ers held their first on-field activities for the week at UNLV, where the Rebels practiced, the football team. And according to players, the surface was spongy. They're having a hard time with the practice fields being a little too soft.
Wait, so you guys are making fun of this?
This is very funny.
Rich, 1,000,000%. If you have a field that's not up to snuff, it can ruin everything.
Hold on.
It's a bigger deal. You can't just laugh this out of the room.
You're a freaking football player. I mean, you're out there hitting people. You're out there getting hit, and now you're complaining that the ground's too soft.
It's just a funny complaint. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there are certain guys who might have like slipped and fell. Actually, I didn't read that report. What's interesting about this story is nobody said, yeah, we're tearing up the grass and, you know, everybody's slipping around out there. It's dangerous. Nobody said that. They just said, too soft. Like it came to the point where Adam Schefter was being interviewed yesterday because he's the one who broke this story. And literally he brought up these numbers. And this is true because I've seen this before. You know, that the NFLPA will pass out player surveys and then you have to fill out they're pretty extensive. You fill out all the things you like about the place that you're playing at, the facility, practice facility, the way you're fed, all that stuff. Like, and so when a free agent comes available, they can actually look through these team surveys and say, oh, this place stinks. Like, they don't treat their players well. The practice facility is a mess. And they can make decisions based off of these numbers. And I didn't realize this, but one of the criteria, because I may have skipped over it, is the hardness of the practice facility fields.
Okay.
And apparently, like, the ideal number hovers around an 80, and the field they stepped on per players, I guess, who are doing on-field assessments, said it was hovering around a 50 in terms of hardness.
Well, that's really soft. I mean,
yeah,
how do they continue?
I don't really understand. So Kyle Shanahan is speaking on opening night, the head coach of the 49ers, who's like, yeah, we're just going to practice there, though. So, guys, please stop talking about this.
Fletch, as a Niner fan, are you looking at this as now you have a disadvantage going into the Super Bowl?
Sorry, I'm dying right now at a TikTok comment we got, but I think if it affects the practice at all, yes, it's an issue. Okay, so we posted a TikTok this morning.
We did.
Because it's Travis Tries Tuesday, and it was Travis Dale last night at dinner eating bone marrow for the first time in his life. And I put the little caption on it, picky eater tries bone marrow for the first time, because you are self-admitted a picky eater.
Yeah, well, I mean, typically I would never try something called bone marrow.
Somebody commented on TikTok and said, bro that's built like that as a picky eater is mind-blowing.
That's a good point.
Listen, I like ranch, okay? Everybody just be cool.
My first reaction when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is good. I was like, we were treated real nice at this restaurant. We like Michael a lot. And we're posting a video of,
listen,
you know, the one thing we hate is this bulldog.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, no. So I had the same thought of like, you want me to eat this? I won't be happy with it. I'm just letting you know. Meanwhile, the food is delicious.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right now, bone marrow tastes fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it tastes good.
Got to get ready for that consistency.
Yeah, that's where my hang up is.
You know what though? I'm such a weirdo. It doesn't matter. If it tastes good, it's going right down the gullet. I mean, I ate a full, what I guess it was a femur. I don't know what bone we're dealing with there, but I scooped that sucker out and I slapped it on bread and I enjoyed it.
You described it. It's steak butter.
It's steak butter. That's all it is. It's just a little greasier.
It's like I made a pot roast and then I took off all the fatty content on the top and then spread that on some bread.
That's where the flavor is. Good
Wow.
stuff.
Wow.
All right. Coming up next, we got to jump in with Jonas Knox, 2 pros and a cup of Joe. He's on Fox Sports Radio. They're on Radio Row all week long, leading up to Super Bowl 58. So we'll get some insights right there on the floor, in the middle of it. The circus is in town, and Jonas is the ringleader. So we'll catch up with him. But first, I got to say this. You know, maybe the fact that you're a picky eater has helped with this whole SD fat loss thing, because I'll tell you what. At first, I had my struggles, but I got used to it. Yeah, you're like a duck to water.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I am as Fletch is as well. Fletch,
there's no question about that. But, look at that guy's tiny.
Do you know what else I'm picky at?
What?
DraftKings.
You're damn right you are.
And you threw out that number of $23 billion.
You're damn right you are.
Just grabbing the wheel. We're bringing it back. We're bringing it back.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
$23 billion on the game. Of the $23 billion, I mean, 20 of it's mine. I can tell you that, because I got $20 here. I'm trying to turn into $250 with DraftKings, the leader in fantasy sports. They just dropped a brand new fantasy app called Pick Six. Pick Six is the newest way for you to get in on the fantasy football action with DraftKings. And getting started is really easy. Just pick up your phone, download the DraftKings Pick Six app, and sign up using code SD760. That's code SD760. Then once you're in, all you're going to do is pick between 2 and 6 NFL players and choose if they're going to have more or less of a stat. For example, will a player have more or less than 100 rushing yards? Or will a player have more than 1 touchdown? Then you can track your lineup and you can compete against others for a shot at huge cash prizes, like when I'm trying to turn that $20 into $250. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and sign up with code SD760. That's code SD760. Only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Approved local P6 states. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 18 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply, valid only in states where DraftKings Pick 6 operates. For up-to-date list of states, please visit dkng.co/pick6states. Void where prohibited. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com.
On Saturday, I was out at San Diego State doing pregame for Aztecs basketball, and one of our listeners, Rodog, who we spent the majority of the Padres run to an NLCS a couple years ago hanging out with, but Rodog came up to me, and the first thing he said was, "My God, you actually did lose the weight." And I was like, "Yeah, dude, we've been talking about it all the time." And he said, I don't know if I believed you guys, but you actually lost 30, 40 pounds. And he's absolutely right. I did. SDFatLoss.com. They have the secret for quick weight loss and, most importantly, lasting weight loss using their time tested methods over literally tens of thousands of clients across the country. SD Fat Loss has broken the weight loss code, gone on the starvation diet plans, do away with the latest fads with their long list of side effects. SD Fat Loss is healthy weight loss using real whole foods and proprietary strategies to help your body become you again. If you're ready to make a change, it's February. The new year is still here. If you're ready to make a change in your life and you want to look better for this summer, if you got weddings or graduations coming up that you want to go to and you want to impress some people, get on over to sdfatloss.com today. Get a free consultation with our friends Wayne and Chloe. They'll talk you through everything that you need to know, and then you can make a decision on whether or not it's for you. But sdfatloss.com is where your journey could start. So get on over there today for more information. Book your free consultation with Wayne and Chloe, and then make a decision that could really, really impact your life for the better. It certainly did for all three of us. And if the three of us idiots can do it, I promise you, you can too. SDFatLoss.com. Get your free consultation today. This update is presented by Cal Coast Credit Union. Starting off with Aztecs Hoops. The boys are on the road tonight for a Mountain West showdown with the Air Force at the Cadet Fieldhouse in Colorado Springs. Pregame coverage getting underway at 7, tip-off at 7:30. NBA last night, Lakers get a win 124-118 over the Hornets. LeBron, 26 points, playing every minute in the win. Clippers win 149-144 over the Hawks. Kawhi Leonard had 36. And in the NFL, it was announced yesterday the opening week next season will include an Eagles game played in Brazil on that first Friday of the NFL season. Get a 4.78% APR auto loan at Cal Coast Credit Union with no payments for 90 days. Offer valid with Cal Coast Car Buying Service Discount. Interest accrues immediately. Restrictions do apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit calcoastcu.org.
We're going to be live at the K&B Bistro in Del Cerro on Friday morning, starting at 7. There's going to be food and a chance to win a 65-inch TV delivered by the guys. Hope it's insured.
Don't drop that.
Now back to the show.
Yeah, man, we cannot wait for this Friday. The big game tailgate happening out at K&B Bistro Del Cerro. All kinds of giveaways, including a 65-inch television. Also today on the show, Luke Bryan tickets.
Luke Bryan
tickets.
Yeah, we gave out a pair yesterday. We will give out a pair for that awesome show to see Luke Bryan in San Diego coming up in just a little bit. So if you're interested in winning those tickets, hang in there. Also coming up in just a little bit, we've got another Belichick update. So Bill Belichick and the Falcons, how it all went down, we have an update there. But before we get to anything else, we have to stop in at Radio Row. Super Bowl 58 is going to be played on Sunday. But for anybody, I guess for the unindoctrinated, there is what's called Media Row or Radio Row, and this has been going on for decades. And it is the site of some of the funniest interactions you'll see because it's a culture clash. You'll see movie stars bumping into athletes, bumping into show hosts. Nobody really knows who anybody is. I mean, sometimes, like I remember a gentleman sat down next to me on Radio Row and I was like, who this? Turns out it was Joe Theismann. And I was just like, oh, yes. Hello. How are you, sir?
What's a sweaty, greasy radio host kind of all doing the same thing? It's one of these.
Yeah. Just craning your neck to see who's walking down the line, to see if you could get an interview that means something to anybody out there listening. Jonas Knox is in the middle of all of this. Two Pros and a Cup of Joe host. He hosts everything on Fox Sports Radio, one of the most talented voices you'll hear through their airwaves. And he joins us right now on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Jonas, so we were all listening. We were all listening to the final hour of your radio show. And I described Radio Row a little bit. But some of the things that also happen are related probably to some hard nights out drinking after everybody leaves their assignments for the media and they hit the town. Lee DeLapp, our very good friend over there at Fox Sports Radio and your show's producer, it sounded like he was having a little bit of a rough morning. What exactly went down?
Oh, man. So we went, like LeVar and Lee, because LeVar wanted to go. There's a place called Golden Steer. I guess it's like a real popular steakhouse, but it was really tough to get reservations because everybody's in town this week. So the only reservation Lee could book was for last night at 8:00. Well, I'm not going, and Brady wasn't going because if you like, I don't eat that late because we got to be up at 1 a.m. to do the show. And I'm like, God, I don't want to be burping up ribeye while I'm trying to do the show in the morning. So I'll go ahead and pass. So Lee and LeVar go. They have dinner. They have some drinks. I mean, everyone was fine. There was no real hangover, but Lee just looked full all show and looked uncomfortable. And he was even telling me, he's like, yeah, I'm just really full. He's all, the food was good. He's all, I'm not hungover or anything. I'm just really full from the steak. And then we got to hour 3 and something started to brew. And you could tell he was getting more and more uncomfortable. And we didn't notice it until on the air that he had to go to the bathroom bad. But we were in the middle of the segment, so we were trying to, because, you know, we're jerks. We were trying to stall to make it worse for him. And so finally he had to bail. And he was in such a rush to try and get to the bathroom that he went into the women's restroom instead and didn't even notice it. And then started putting 2 and 2 together, wondering why there was, you know, no smoking during pregnancy signs on the stall wall while he's sitting there dropping the kids off. And there's like, the problem is, like, you know, it's not that that he went into the women's restroom. It was that it's quiet enough to where we're making a scene about it because there's nobody at Radio Row except for a couple of shows. So you've got like a couple other shows that are watching us film him walk into the women's restroom. And you think it's like some radio bit, but Lee has no idea what he's doing because he just wants to get whatever's in him out of him. The security guards look confused. And look, his hair is long enough, Rich. I mean, you know, if you look quickly, you know, you've seen worse things in Vegas. I'll just put it that way. So it was a problem, and just the reality that it's only Tuesday.
Right.
It's just. So yeah, he made himself at home, but he's like, I think he's actually, as we speak right now, he's in his room, you know, dropping the other kid off. Like it's like he had a problem.
Yeah.
That's the issue with doing early morning radio.
So Jonas, it turns out it was twins. Well, congratulations to Lee, DeLapp, fraternal. We hope. So Jonas, really quick, just need to know about your setup at Radio Row. I need to hear all the details, including when you guys stepped onto the platform where your stage and your set is. Was it too spongy? Was it too soft for you? Are you guys going to be all right, like standing and walking around there? Or like the 49ers, will you find somebody in the NFL to complain to about the soft underfoot? I mean, it's just,
Well done.
Yeah.
Well
I mean,
done.
are you guys going to be all right? Or is the hardness okay?
You know what's hilarious about the NFL? Like it's a multi-million, if not billion-dollar league and company and business and all that. And it's just like the little details that keep screwing up. You know, it's just like those little. It's like you have the nicest car on the block, but you know you've got it on spare tires for 6 months. It's like, dude, like at some point, like why is this still a topic of conversation? Rich, it seems like, and I don't know if you guys have noticed this. Every 3 to 4 weeks, something about a playing surface complaint comes up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is the go-to. And, you know, now they're having the World Cup's going to be at MetLife Stadium. And you know, because it's soccer, they're going to bring in real grass for that. And you know what's going to happen. People in the NFL are going to bitch and moan and complain. Why do they get it? We don't get it. Like you just dust off the same topic over and over again that they can't seem to figure it out. That being said, I'm not quite sure it's going to have that much of an impact on the game. I mean, between that and Patrick Mahomes' dad getting his third DWI, you know, I feel like there's, you know, we're now in search of topics to discuss because we've broken down, is Brock Purdy a game manager so often throughout the course of the year.
Well, how much do you think that affects Patrick Mahomes, his dad out there?
I mean, if it's his third, he's probably like, whatever.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's like, oh, Dad.
Yeah. What a rascal.
You know, hey, I mean, listen, hey, it is what it is. Like, you know, that's you know, it's been a few months, so I'm not surprised that we're at this point. But yeah, it's because of the weather out here. It's been pouring rain. So there's a lot of, it's actually a lot slower than I thought it would be. I think it'll probably pick up out here over the next couple of days as it usually does, but it's actually a lot quieter than I thought. And at the time that we're doing the show, nobody up at that time is doing radio. Everybody's either drinking, potentially doing hard drugs, or gambling, or doing something else that'll get them arrested.
Or all
So
three.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, right.
Oh, man.
Hey,
Yeah, so
Jonas,
there's a lot. Yeah.
so is Brock Purdy a game manager?
Oh.
I love Brock Purdy. See, I don't want this smoke from Rich. All right, I don't want this.
Isn't
smoke
he a
because-
hater?
because
Whoa.
Yeah, listen, because I know I love Brock Purdy. I hope Brock Purdy. I'm rooting for him to win. I do find it funny that the 49ers are a 2-point favorite with Patrick Mahomes on the other side of the field. Like, I feel like somebody knows something because that line doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Like, I don't understand it, yet here we are, and the 49ers are favored with Brock Purdy, Rich's guy, Mr. Irrelevant, sitting at quarterback for the Niners.
Rich
So,
hates him.
I wouldn't say
No,
Brock Purdy it looks like a game manager. He looks more like a home goods manager.
That's a good point.
yeah, that is.
He looks like somebody who would be super duper helpful, like at at like what's the place called? Cold Stone Creamery. Like
yeah.
Right. Yeah. If
I'd be
I had a problem, though, he'd come out of the back.
like if I had a fourth quarter drive, I'd be like, maybe birthday cake remix. But here's the reality of the situation. I've said this many times. I know like certain things get clipped and they get put out there and context sometimes is missing. I actually think Brock Purdy is off to a great start. I was on San Francisco radio yesterday talking with an old host I used to work with here. And I was saying to him, I'm like, look, the dude, there's eerie comparisons between the start of his career and Tom Brady. And if you look if you look at the numbers, he's off to a better start than Tom Brady. And yeah, he's getting to drive a Ferrari with Debo and Kittle and McCaffrey, and he has Kyle Shanahan as, the voice in the headset, and that's all setting you up for great success. But you have to be able to do it, and Brock can do it, and he's shown he can do it. He's also shown he can do it facing some adversity this season with that 3-game slump where he got a little dinged up. So did the rest of the team. They came out of that all right, and then falling behind in 2 games and playing catch up against Green Bay and then the Detroit Lions. So I'm a big fan of Brock. I think he's off to a great start. I think that we're looking at him through the San Francisco 49ers Instagram filter, which definitely helps him out. I think it definitely helps him out. But, he looks a lot prettier through that filter. But geez, oh man, that guy is he's on fire to start his very young career.
I mean, and listen, the start, and this has been documented. I know we're up against it, but the start of Patrick Mahomes' career, I don't know that we've ever seen anything like it. All they know is AFC title games are better, and the only 2 quarterbacks to beat Patrick Mahomes in the postseason through his career have been Tom Brady and Joe Burrow. So, Purdy's got a lot to overcome. And again, I'm surprised the line is where it's at, but it hasn't moved out here in every place I've looked.
Jonas, we love having you on. Thank you for doing it, brother. We know you're a busy man, especially waking up as early as you are in Las Vegas. You're crushing it, and we'll continue to listen. And our best wishes to Lead the Lab. Feeling, and congratulations on the birth of his first child.
Yes, and you can go to LeVar's Instagram account. He posted it. Find LeVar Arrington on Instagram. He documented it with the Chariots of Fire theme music attached to it. It's hilarious. So thank you guys. You guys are the best. I appreciate you having me.
There he goes. Jonas Knox, Fox Sports Radio, the busiest man in show business.
You guys see some of the details when Patrick Mahomes' dad got pulled over for a DWI?
I did not.
The cop went up to the window. He rolls it down. He's got a Coors Light in his hand.
Oh, no. No.
He didn't even put it down.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. Well,
turns out busted.
Sometimes when you're caught, you're caught.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Switching gears slightly here before we get to a new scoop on Bill Belichick. Out of Radio Row, we have an update on exactly how it went down between Belichick and the Falcons. We have some sound. We'll play that for you coming up next. But first, I want to talk to everybody about a world-class dentist right here in San Diego where all procedures are done in the same office with state-of-the-art technology. Dr. Jordan Colby at Ocean View Dental is my dentist, and he is a miracle worker. I'm not kidding. So he has this awesome Instagram site. You could actually find his Instagram through oceanviewdental.net. And what he does is he posts the before and after pictures of people who have come through his practice, who've had, and I want to be fair and kind to these people, but they were dealing with disastrous situations with their teeth. We're talking about things that I'm sure other dentists have turned down the work and said, yeah, there's nothing I can do here. But Dr. Jordan Colby, like I said, has worked miracles. And he's had all of these patients leave his practice with a winning smile. I was one of these patients who had a disaster on their hands, so I can speak freely and openly about it. I needed a tooth extracted. I needed 3 implants put in. I was told this all was going to take 1.5 years, and I was have to go to 4 different offices. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to work with a real pro who could have me in the same office for all of the imaging, all of the procedural stuff, all of the surgery, everything from day one until the final day, which only took 3 months. I went to only one office, and it was Ocean View Dental up in Oceanside. Also, he's got another great office in Fallbrook, and they all deliver the same promise that they're going to treat you like family because it's a family-oriented dental practice. And they provide the professional and personal attention that your family deserves. Incredible, man. Incredible place to go to. You can have an ocean view while you're getting your next teeth cleaning. So if you're thinking about changing your dentist, Don't look any further. Go to oceanviewdental.net. Dr. Jordan Colby is your guy. That's oceanviewdental.net. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you this morning. And we have a busy week. In fact, today we're going to be going over to K&B Bistro. And we can't wait. We're going to be doing our first walkthrough to get set for the big game tailgate party. That's right. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch presents the big game tailgate party where you could win a 65-inch television, a free round of golf for you and 3 of your buddies, a 2-night stay to the Seabird Resort in Oceanside, SeaWorld passes. You could win a free month of testosterone treatment at the Man Zone by Dr. Roy David. We have so much stuff. Pit Viper sunglasses to give away. We have Sombreros Mexican food catering the event.
Not to mention all of the Bar Card Friday friends that we've made over the past year who are going to be there with swag and tastings, and just added yesterday a 4-pack of paintball to Velocity. I almost said Victory.
I think it's up in Ramona, and this is actually where I was going to give you guys your Christmas present at, but then Dom got the 4-pack for our listeners instead of for us.
You know what? And that's fine. That's fine.
Merry Christmas, boys.
They'll probably take us.
We don't need Christmas.
So that's the thing. For the round of golf and the paintball, if you would like to take us, we are willing to go with you. However, it's for you.
I love how we're shoehorning ourselves in. Like, dude, it's totally cool you won, but you better take us, right?
It's like, well, when I was a kid, we had like a gift exchange at school.
Yeah.
And I brought in Legos. And I'm like, nobody takes that. I'm picking that up.
Yeah.
As soon as it gets to my turn, I want those Legos.
You knew what they were dressed. They were wrapping.
Yeah. And I grabbed the Legos.
You know what the worst thing about Legos is? Sometimes when you're walking around your house and you have little kids. I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, and you just step on them, and you get one of those little ones, like the one brick.
Yeah.
And dude, I mean, they can pierce skin.
Right. Well, and sometimes, I mean, it's because you're just flat-footed.
Tell you what, it never happens when I'm wearing my arch supports from the Good Feet store.
Come on.
Hasn't happened once.
Hasn't happened with me either.
Yeah.
I can say that factually.
So listen, the arch supports aren't to block Lego bricks from impaling you in the middle of the night. They're not for that, but they do that too. You know what the Good Feet store arch supports are for? They're actually to help your lower body joint pain. So I had a ton of issues with my knees, with my hip and my back leaving the NFL. And a lot of that pain has completely melted away just by using these arch supports from the Good Feet store. Super simple process. You go into one of their 200 plus locations around the US and overseas. You sit down with one of their trained professionals. All of them are super sweet. You do your try before you buy, free fitting experience. And if they're not for you, they'll adjust it. And you can be completely confident and comfortable before you leave the store. And then the results after you leave the store, that's what you're in search of. You want some pain relief? This is one of the best ways that I've found to get that pain relief. I canceled an MRI with an orthopedist because I realized, no, I mean, I don't need it anymore. I feel great. So if you're in pain, you got back problems, knee problems, hip, feet, ankles, whatever you're dealing with, go to the Good Feet store. Check them out at goodfeet.com. That's goodfeet.com. And coming up next, we'll get to that sound. We have sound of how it went down between Belichick and the Falcons. And also, there's an incredible amount of money being wagered on the NFL. Is it good for the game? That's next. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
This update is presented by Taco Bell. Starting off with Aztec Hoops, the boys on the road tonight for a Mountain West showdown with the Air Force at the Cadet Fieldhouse in Colorado Springs. Pre-game coverage getting underway at 7, tip-off at 7:30. NBA last night, Lakers get a win 124-118 over the Hornets. Clippers win 149-144 over the Hawks. And in the NFL, announced yesterday that opening week next season will include an Eagles game played in Brazil on the first Friday of the NFL season. In the morning, Taco Bell keeps it toned down and simple, like the breakfast crunch wrap with fluffy eggs, sausage, melty cheese, and a crispy hash brown and a grilled tortilla. Nothing too wild, just delicious. Taco Bell breakfast served until 11 a.m.
It's Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on San Diego Sports 760.
I'll tell you one thing that really drives me nuts.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
It is a beautiful day.
This has been a while in the making. We've been wanting to hit the road with this show, and we kind of just forced the issue and did it all ourselves. And then everybody else in the building was like, yeah, so they're doing this, so we may as well get behind them.
That's entirely accurate.
Now, here are the guys.
Yeah, happy Tuesday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you on a awesome Tuesday morning. After a great meal, we were downtown in Little Italy. We were joined by Kevin Acee, one of our favorites here on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Went to Barbusa. Awesome Italian food. Awesome food, period. I mean, it doesn't matter what you're in the mood for. They got something for you, so check them out. But Kevin Acee joining us in just about an hour and a half. We'll definitely get an update on Padres as they head to spring training. He's going to be, Kevin will, out in Arizona here very shortly because the Dodgers and Padres kick off, or start up, I should say, the Major League Baseball season out in Seoul, South Korea. So very quick succession. They're going to be in Arizona for about a month, and then they're going to be heading on out to South Korea to start the Major League Baseball regular season. So busy times for Kevin, busy times for the Padres, and it's going to be a really weird year with the Padres because no Peter Seidler, obviously the very sad passing of a beloved owner, and that is two words that are not often put together. But he was beloved here in San Diego. There's no question about it. A friend to many, definitely a friend of mine. Miss that guy. A lot of fans miss him because of what he meant to this team and to this city, building that roster the way he did, the commitment to winning. And so we'll see what happens on the other side of that. So very interesting to dive in with him. But also we got our morning monologue coming up in just a little bit. We're going to play a little Wheel of Football here, a fan favorite. But before we get to any of that, I'm staring at Buck Norris over there.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to bring him on the road.
Yeah.
Over to K&B Bistro.
Yeah. A lot of people asking, is Buck going to be there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. You're going to be out there, K&B Bistro. Yeah. 65-inch television. Yep. Month of testosterone. You're giving away 2-night stay, 4-pack of tickets to paintball, golf. I mean, the list goes on and on. SeaWorld.
Yeah.
Doucher sunglasses.
Yeah. We're giving those out too.
But will Buck Norris be there?
Yeah. We get that a lot. Yeah. The answer is yes. Show mascot. Buck Norris will be there. Lucy, the big game goat, is also going to be there.
That's right. Lucy, the big
Special
game goat.
Guests.
EB is going to be there.
EB, she's bringing the flabongo.
And Girl Scout cookies. So make sure you have cash.
That's right. That's right.
And we do want as many of you as possible to be there. The roadies, the hangers, the dogs, the bangers. You all got a shout out on the flyer that CD made. A badass flyer, by the way. It's posted on our Twitter account. All of the information you need is there. Also on our Instagram account, TikTok account. It's everywhere.
Yeah. So you can find that. And also, you'll probably see it. Even if you're not a follower of the show, you're probably going to see that ad a lot. Yeah. Because we got busy yesterday. This is a fun week because as the week goes on, people who don't normally connect with each other, they connect with each other. So there's business luminaries, there's league folks and executives connecting with former players, and Boomer Esiason, obviously a Cincinnati Bengals great, now talk show host for years and years in New York, has a show called Boomer and Geo, apparently bumped into some executives and found out exactly how it went down between Belichick and the Falcons. Here's Boomer.
Or they didn't give him full control, and so he didn't want the keys.
I always think, and I say this on the show often, why are we hearing something when we hear it? And when I hear this, to me, this obviously came from an executive, and I'm not saying it came from a Falcons executive, but maybe the story originated from somebody in the front office in Atlanta who didn't like the fact that people were talking about how the Atlanta front office folks were really nervous about Bill coming in because he was going to clear all them out. So that's not a narrative you want to be out there, that the Falcons balked at hiring arguably, if not the greatest coach who's ever coached football, because guys were worried about losing their jobs. Instead, let's shift the blame onto Bill Belichick. So I'm curious exactly how it went down. It's probably a little bit of both. Maybe there was a request of too much power on Bill's end. Maybe the Falcons balked at that. Maybe there wasn't a high enough contract amount or enough control given, and maybe Bill balked at that. I don't know. What nobody will ever know exactly what happened, but it's just so interesting how every year during this time, all these loose connections start getting connected. Like people start talking to each other and stories start rolling out as the week progresses. I'm very interested to hear and see what else happens. All right, Fletch, let's get it started with you, my friend.
You guys want college basketball or Kevin Acee?
Ooh.
Is one of you doing Kevin Acee?
I'm not doing Kevin Acee.
Okay, then I'm doing Kevin Acee.
Okay, do Kevin Acee.
They say don't meet your heroes. They say don't hang out with them. I got to be honest, Kevin, it was exactly what I pictured and more with him last night. I've always been a fan of his writing. I think he's incredible at it. And we've had this on-air relationship now for years with Kevin Acee, between the last radio station and this one, where Kevin comes on with us every single week during the Padres baseball season. You only get so much over the phone. And I've had brief interactions with him in the press box over the years. We ate a burger next to each other one time in a press box. But Kevin Acee, uninterrupted for 2 hours, without the construct of radio being there, without worrying about other people hearing a conversation that you were having, just true, authentic Kevin Acee is a hell of a guy. And I want to make that very clear to everybody who sometimes criticizes his work, or sometimes there's no reason for me to defend Kevin Acee's work. He's talking to the Padres. But Kevin Acee is a hell of a guy to have a beer with, to have a drink with. By the way, old-fashioned guy, Kevin Acee.
Yeah.
And we just had a really great time with him last night. And remember, next time you're about to tweet something, that the dude's a human being, and he's awesome. And you would love having a beer with him, too.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was very sweet, and it was very kind. But look, I mean, Kevin is fully aware of what he does. He's a journalist, and he's a columnist, and sometimes editorializes situations the way all of us do. And people are allowed to have whatever opinion of him that they want to have because he's a public figure. Yeah, he could be as nice to us as he wants to be, but yeah, I mean, like, there's also the side of it where, and we'll ask Kevin Acee at 8:30, if we weren't in such a seat of prominence, like if we weren't these excellent radio show hosts who, just, I mean, we give our time to the airwaves in San Diego. We don't have to. We want to. Trust us. Would he actually have gone out to dinner with us? And the answer almost definitely is going to be no. So that's very sweet what you just said, but
I like to think he would.
No,
I think our relationship with Kevin goes beyond a business relationship.
No.
It is a friendship through and through.
It definitely is one-sided for now until proven otherwise.
Until he says I love you.
Yeah,
and means it.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There, I've laid down the gauntlet. We even tried to text last night, and then he gave this lengthy reason why he can't say he loves us, and it was very descriptive.
Listen, he's had some hard breakups, I think. That's all.
There's no question about it.
So he doesn't want to get hurt. Okay.
Also, ready for this, world? Kevin Acee is funny.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
I feel like people don't know that about him.
Well,
geez, I mean, why don't you get a room? Oh my God. I wish I would have picked college basketball. Jesus Christ.
You want that one too?
No, I do not. We're turning off your microphone.
You thought this one was gross.
Okay, hang on. I think
college basketball is so much better than any other sport. Oh my God, they've got it dialed in, and the tournament is so perfect. And how come other sports can't follow their lead? I mean, look at what they do.
Did you guys see Colgate take on UMass last night?
Actually, did you see Kansas State take on Kansas last night?
most incredible athletes doing some of the most incredible things.
For such a college basketball fan, I do remember while you were standing in the studio with a bunch of other people.
This was embarrassing.
You go, oh my God, guys, everybody, shh, quiet down. This is a very important game for the Aztecs because if St. Mary's loses this game, this is going to be huge for the Aztecs. And then Dom goes, Fletch, that's SMU. That's the Mustangs. That's Southern Methodist. And you were just like, yeah, super important.
Corner
still.
of the eye thing after a bar car Friday. There's no defense. It was bad.
Easy mistake.
Fine.
What do you got for us, TD?
Oh, well, okay. I sent Fletch some music. Pretty important here.
Yes.
I got home last night doing a little show prep.
Yeah.
Putting together a few things. I'm going to tell you, watching some pro bowling.
Here we go.
The PBA trophy is effing awesome. I mean, there's not a GT bowling ball on the bowling ball trophy. No, just a giant effing eagle with outstretched talons. Only thing that would make it better is if it was perched on top of a diesel truck with black smoke barreling out of it while it sucked down a cheeseburger from one of those old-fashioned non-biodegradable styrofoam containers and grease is running down its beak. This is America. This is pro bowling, baby. Yeah.
Wow, I'm looking at it. You're not lying. I'm watching Pete Weber holding up. I think what you watched was the PBA US Open.
Yeah, whatever.
Pete Weber, that's the guy that. Who do you think you are? I am. That's him, right?
That's him.
Oh, that's the guy.
That's the guy. I mean, this is a trophy, man. This is a trophy.
Dude, it is a screaming, wings flared eagle perched on top of a wood block, and it just has a simple plaque. Wow.
Listen, I mean, nothing says bowling like a pissed off eagle.
You know what? I want to do my monologue this morning on something that I think is misinterpreted when you're watching the matchup that we're going to watch. So I think Jonas did a nice job earlier talking about how Patrick Mahomes is doing something we've never seen before. He's roaring out the gates, going to 6 straight AFC championship games. He's going to be playing in his 4th Super Bowl, or is this his 3rd? I believe it's his 3rd. And he has an opportunity to win his 2nd. It's incredible. He's off to the hottest start of any quarterback, frankly, we've ever seen play the sport. And it doesn't mean that Brock Purdy's bad because he's not Patrick Mahomes. And what's funny about Brock Purdy is a red meat conversation or topic of conversation right now because of the whole game manager thing, but it's really hard to play quarterback in the NFL. Trust me, throughout my career, I played with a lot of guys, and I can tell you right now, there are only a couple of special ones at that position. You can see it quick. There are guys who snap the football. You snap the football to them, and you know where they should go with the football, and they don't throw the football to where they're supposed to. And you're just a simple offensive lineman, and you'll turn around sometimes. You even say, hey, yeah, you were supposed to throw hot off of that man on line of scrimmage because he was coming free on that protection you called for us. And then all of a sudden you hear the offensive coordinator going, hey, you need to throw hot off of that blitzer off the edge because you swung the protection the wrong way. So you need to find Edelman. That's on you. And then you go, see, I told you. Yeah, that's going to be a problem for us if you don't do that because you're going to get creamed and we're all going to look really bad. It's going to look like our right tackle missed that block or just decided not to block him. Meanwhile, it's on you, bub. So it's a tough position to play. It is really difficult. And it's really difficult to play in an advanced system with people who have been in that system for a while, like Kittle, like Debo, like McCaffrey even, who joined the team, but he was caught up in a hurry. And he's in charge of driving a Ferrari. So for all of the Brock Purdy slander out there, and I've been blamed for Brock Purdy slander by Fletch, by many other people. Brock Purdy is a talented guy. He's doing things that are really difficult to do. He may win a Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. And if he does, it's an unbelievable achievement at this point in his career. He's in year 2. He hasn't even played 2 full seasons. So really interested to see what happens on Super Bowl Sunday with the 49ers.
Top storylines are on the board. It's time for the Wheel of Football.
so
get the
prepared.
wheel.
Hang on, I'll get the wheel.
We gotta get the wheel. Oh, we're doing halftime. Hang on. Let me move some chairs around. Actually, yeah, the stool might work better. Okay, so we're setting up the wheel of football. We have already marked it up with several NFL topics for discussion here, like we always do. We can't even announce one until you give it a spin. So give that. Yeah. Look at you go. Yeah.
You really have been playing jump rope with old Brock Purdy, haven't you, Richie?
Well, hang on. We have to get to that first. Oddly enough, it landed on
jump rope with Brock Purdy.
We double Dutch or just single rope? Let's discuss it. No, it says Brock Purdy or Patrick Mahomes, who has the better Sunday?
It's hard not to say Patrick Mahomes, right? But there is a chance that Brock Purdy shocks the world. Even if he plays as good as Patrick Mahomes. So say Brock Purdy goes 267 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air, no picks. Like, Brock Purdy's going to win Super Bowl MVP because I believe if he does that, the Niners will win this game. I think the Niners lose this game if he throws a pick. So what's more likely to happen? Patrick Mahomes is going to have a better football game, but Brock Purdy has a chance to shock the world.
I agree with just about everything you just said.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy is a really super talented guy. Patrick Mahomes, you got to give him credit for what he's done so far in his career in the postseason. Look at his postseason record. It's nauseating how good he is.
He's only lost to Tom Brady and Joe Burrow.
That's it.
Do the Niners ask Brock Purdy to complete that deep pass? Or do they keep things short, simple, keep the confidence high?
If they don't have to, they won't, unless they're trying to take a shot downfield to keep the defense honest. What they want to do is keep the ball close to the line of scrimmage, high percentage throws, run the football effectively with Christian McCaffrey and that offensive line who's under-heralded for what they've done this season for Brock as a pass protection and also for that run game. But yeah, I mean, he's going to have to take some shots to beat the Chiefs. There's no question.
All regular season long, he was number 1 rated on balls thrown past 20 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like they're afraid to do it.
All right, the wheel spins.
A lot of spin.
We have our next NFL topic on the wheel of football here.
This wheel's coming off of this stool.
No, there's no question about it. All right, what do we got here next?
Okay, we got Kittle or Kelsey. Who's having a better day?
Wow. So Super Bowl 58, the battle of the tight ends. Here's the deal. If you're looking at stats, Travis Kelce is going to fill up the stat sheet unless the 49ers commit to completely shutting him down and make Rashee Rice or Pacheco other problems around the offense, the problems that they have to adjust to. So I'm going to say Kelce, but with a caveat. The 49ers may double him all night long, and it might be a slow night for 87.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Kittle is going to have a better day here. I think that Travis Kelce will be shut down. I think it'll be a quiet day. I think he's going to have to be used as a decoy. I mean, he's going to be a threat every time he's on the field, but I have a feeling that because all eyes are obviously on Kelce, they do something different.
Go ahead and spin it, and I'll finish this up. But with Kittle, like, it depends on how you're measuring better day, because Kelce is going to have better stats than George Kittle. George Kittle is going to have a bigger impact on the game. I firmly believe that.
I think from a blocking standpoint, like the all-encompassing factor, I think you might be right.
The better McCaffrey does, that means George Kittle is blocking better. All right, last one on the board.
Who's going to have the better day?
Reba McEntire, Post Malone. They're doing the pregame songs. Reba is doing the national anthem. Post Malone is doing God Bless America. I believe I have that right.
Yeah,
might be flip-flops.
Yeah,
but
I believe
who
you're correct.
has the better performance? I'll go first. Post Malone. The dude can sing.
You're way wrong.
Okay.
Reba can perform. Okay, I've seen Reba. I went and saw Reba with zero expectations.
You have more twang in your voice right now than you ever do.
Listen, I saw Post Malone. I don't know if that's twang. I saw Post Malone with zero expectations as well. I was blown away by Post Malone, but I'm telling you right now, Reba McEntire can perform and she can sing. Post Malone can perform. So
he can sing,
you're right,
dude.
It's fine. It's fine. He's all right. He's all right.
I'll tell you who I'm more excited to see. Post Malone.
No, yeah, I'm not talking about excitement.
Well, because I'm very curious, like, what shape he's in. This is a football fan, and I know he's like a beer pong playing,
diehard Cowboys fan,
Bud Light drinking, diehard Cowboys fan. Like, I can't wait to see what shape he's in when he gets to the microphone.
He lost a ton of, like, CD, when you and I saw him, he looked like scary skinny.
Yeah.
But he lost a bunch of weight, then put a lot back on. He had the baby, and I think stopped drinking beer for a while.
Yo-yo diet.
He yo-yoed. But I think right now he is currently skinny.
All right. Coming up in just a little bit here, we got to get into this storyline. If you hated, and I mean hated, watching football behind a paywall, you're really going to hate the sound we're going to play for you coming up next. Oh, boy. But before we get to that, how about happier things, Travis? Like, I don't know, maybe a certain app on your,
come
on your
on.
iPhone
Which,
that you fire up.
What you mean? You mean the DraftKings Pick Six app?
I think that's the one.
I open it up several times a day, just to double check things. In fact, Sarah, my wife, texted me and she's like, "How come the last time you talked about DraftKings, you didn't talk about my winning?" Okay, yeah. So she put $5 in. She wins some cash, man. $25 in her pocket. Come on, DraftKings, the leader in fantasy sports, just dropped a brand new fantasy app. It's called Pick Six. You've heard me talking about it, but Pick Six is the newest way for you to get in on the fantasy football action with DraftKings. And getting started is really easy. Just download the DraftKings Pick Six app and sign up using code SD760. Then you're just going to pick between 2 and 6 NFL players and choose if they're going to have more or less of a stat. I mean, it's beyond simple to play along, and it's a lot of fun. For example, will a player have more or less than 100 rushing yards, or will a player have more than one touchdown? You can track your lineup and you compete against others for a shot at huge cash prizes. Turn $20 into $250. Download the DraftKings Pick Six app now and sign up with using code SD760. That's code SD760 only on DraftKings Pick Six. The crown is yours. Approved local P6 states. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 18 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. Valid only in states where DraftKings Pick Six operates. For up-to-date list of states, please visit dkng.co/pick6 states. Void where prohibited. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com.
Were you upset when you had to pay to watch a football game? Just wait till you hear this from Roger Goodell. This update is presented by the Bart Hall Show at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. We will begin this morning with Aztecs Hoops. Coming up tonight, they are on the road for a Mountain West matchup with Air Force at the Cadet Fieldhouse in Colorado Springs, one of the most historic venues in college basketball. Pre-game coverage gets underway at 7, tip-off at 7:30 tonight. NBA last night, Lakers get a win 124-118 over the Hornets. LeBron, 26 points. He played every minute in the win. Clippers win 149-144 over the Atlanta Hawks. Kawhi Leonard had 36 points. Over in the NFL, announced yesterday that opening week next season will include an Eagles game played in Brazil on the first Friday of the NFL season. Don't miss the biggest outdoor recreation event of the year, the 46th annual Hall Family Show, the Bart Hall Show, February 15th to the 18th at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Fishing, boating, and so much more. Get your tickets at hallshows.com.
We're going to be live at the K&B Bistro in Del Cerro on Friday morning, starting at 7. There's going to be food and a chance to win a 65-inch TV delivered by the guys. Hope it's insured.
Don't drop that.
Now back to the show.
I'm not going to drop it. Why would we drop it?
No, we would
Come
never.
on. There's 6 hands on that thing.
Yeah.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. Yeah, we got a party coming up this Friday, K&B Bistro. The big game tailgate. Also, we've got Luke Bryan tickets that we're going to be giving away here a little bit later on the show.
Yeah, we're super excited for all of that. At the big game tailgate, you heard it in the promo, but we'll just repeat it here for anybody who missed it. 65-inch television. You could win that. We also have a lot of other great giveaways, including a 2-night stay at the Seabird Resort up in Oceanside, a month of free testosterone treatment at the Man Zone if you're a viable candidate, a free round of golf at Cottonwood Country Club or Golf Club, sponsored by Long Ball Hard Ice Tea, a round of paintball.
I remember all this.
With unlimited air and 1,000 paintballs. That's over at Velocity. You and 3 of your buddies can go. Also, we've got Sombreros Mexican food catering the whole thing. We're going to be giving away Pit Viper sunglasses. I mean, it is, to be perfectly honest with you, the envy of iHeart San Diego. There are so many other talented, very talented people around this building who said, how did you do this in 2 weeks? We literally organized this in 2 weeks. And we said, well, it's because it's the big game. You know, the one that kicks off in Vegas.
Is there a big game this weekend?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Speaking of the big game,
Peter Salas on YouTube
we got?
already ordered my Uber for Friday. Wife will be there to pick me up after school drop off. It's going to be glorious.
Boy.
There are so
That's what
many
I'm talking about.
direct messages we're getting from listeners of the show who are just like, yeah, I'm planning on getting after it at like 7 a.m. with you guys.
Finally, it's okay to be completely hammered by 9.
There's going to be a lot of like useless people after they visit our show. There's going to be a lot of napping. But that's okay. You're going to be stuffed with some breakfast burritos. You're going to be having a good time. And that's what it's all about. It's a tailgate party after all. All right. So Super Bowl week gives way to what's always called the State of the NFL address. Roger Goodell gives it every year. It's a big media event. A lot of people flood into whatever convention center space it's held. This time it was at Allegiant Stadium, and Raj got up in front of the gang, and he tipped off a bunch of plans for the upcoming season, including this. So Sam Farmer, LA Times, who's been covering the NFL for decades, stood up and asked the question, hey, Raj, remember the whole paywall thing for the Super Wildcard round? Everybody was real upset about that. Is that something the NFL is going to continue doing? Here was Goodell's answer.
Consumers are moving off of paid television services and going into digital streaming services and platforms. And we as the NFL have to be able to reach our fans there.
Yikes.
Okay.
So what he's saying is
Pay-per-view?
Sort of. I mean, what I don't really understand, and maybe this is headed there, why wouldn't they just make it on the NFL network? Force you to go to their own network. I'm baffled as to why they want to do this.
Because they can get $1 billion from Prime Video. They could probably get $1 billion from Peacock. They could probably get $1 billion from Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
they
but
could probably get $1 billion from Netflix.
But why? But
continue?
why? But why are they getting that much money?
Because the fans will go to them.
Right. Well, because the fans will subscribe, because the fans will see the ads played. And then so why wouldn't the NFL just want the subscriptions? Why wouldn't the NFL just want all of those ad dollars? Why would they want to, sublease it to Netflix?
So here's my response to that. The NFL is filled with a bunch of really smart people, and many of them have law degrees. And the reason why you don't do that is so that you never get too far down the road of a monopoly, because as soon as you do that and you get enough congressmen and women excited about taking down the NFL, also people who in many occasions have law backgrounds. I mean, imagine if you're the congressperson who goes toe to toe with the NFL and wins, breaks up a monopoly, busts up using the antitrust rules in this country's laws and bylaws of business practice to take down a behemoth. You would be heralded, especially if there were inappropriate tactics like price gouging happening as a result of that monopoly. That's the reason why I think they're still doing business with the Prime Videos and the Peacocks and, all these other subscribing applications. The NFL has launched its own brand, though. They have NFL Plus, which is a premium thing. You pay like $50 for an annual subscription, I think.
$15 a month this year and you get Red Zone and NFL Network included.
So they already have their package too, but if they bring everything in-house, what they could potentially get in trouble for is all of a sudden being like, well, yeah, now they can charge whatever they want. And also, are they a nonprofit? Like, how is that possible? So they'll get themselves in trouble with the government.
Yeah, that is true. That nonprofit thing, I think it's real sticky, real fast. I ask you this question. If they were shown live streaming and they were 10 minutes behind on a free network, would you still pay for the streaming?
If they were,
so it's live, you're watching it live, but then, or you're paying whatever, your $5 a month, or you could watch it for free on CBS, but it's 10-minute delay.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm buying the stream.
I'm buying the stream too.
I think I'm buying the stream.
However,
yeah,
a lot of people would not, and that would be a way that the NFL could double dip, where they're still getting ad dollars that's on these network TVs. It's just not live.
Yeah,
you should work for the NFL.
Well, I want to let you guys know I do.
Full disclosure, TD has always worked for the NFL.
I don't know if I'm the only one. I am surprised that to this day, the Super Bowl, which 70% of households will be watching.
They're estimating 75%, which, by the way, I think it's usually around 60. So the Taylor Swift bump is real.
I'm just shocked that the Super Bowl itself is not a pay-per-view event where in order to watch the game in your house, it's not $100 that you just pay one time. You can watch the Super Bowl. All the ads would still be there. And guess every house, I think, would still buy it.
Well, the visibility of the Super Bowl is part of the reason why you can charge so much for advertising.
Right.
Is because they have such a grab of the American attention. And that's what this all is. It's just attention. We live in an attention economy, social media, streaming, all that stuff. Everything is subscription based at this point. Here's my biggest problem with this. And this is what the NFL does constantly. They do it with their players. They do it with their fans. And it drives me crazy. And Roger Goodell is not getting harangued enough for this statement. This is the NFL pointing the finger back at you. This is the NFL saying, it's not our fault that we put a wild card game on Peacock. It's your fault. I'm sorry. Everybody has switched to streaming platforms, so we're just meeting you where you are, you idiots. Like, screw you, Roger. Like I'm supposed to believe that? No. The reason why it's on Peacock is because NBC paid you an enormous amount of money.
Right.
Like an incredible amount of money. A king's ransom.
Right.
And they as part of their deal that we want one of your playoff games to be streaming only so we could get more subscribers on Peacock.
Absolutely.
That's the reason why that happened. It wasn't because he was like, gang, I know this is a tough choice and we could make a lot of money by flipping people to streaming, but that's not what it's about.
By the way, the pay-per-view question, why isn't it pay-per-view yet?
Yeah.
Because it hasn't made the tipping point of where they'd make more money on pay-per-view than they would on a network.
100%. All right,
Yeah.
we're going to get off of football for just a moment. Coming up next, we'll talk a little NBA. But first, I got to say something. We went
Go
out to
ahead.
dinner
Go
last
ahead.
night.
Yeah.
Sexy.
And
Yeah, I mean-
Travis Dale came walking in sashaying, if you will,
Oh,
with a button-up shirt, collared shirt.
Mhm.
And can I tell you, as he was making his way to the bar, because we were waiting for a table, heads were turning.
Mine was.
I mean, I could feel it. I
Yeah.
could feel it in the room.
I mean, it was one of those things where, it's a rainy night. It almost was like that Bob Seger song where he's like dusting off his coat, and all of a sudden everybody's eyes were on him.
How about that table of ladies that was sitting next to us? They had an interest in old TD over there.
Oh, man. I mean, who would?
Is on the road again.
He flagged down a busser
There
for
we
him.
go.
Thank you, sir.
Up
Yeah.
on the stage.
I mean, gosh, I could feel all that. I mean, I could feel it all. The tension in the room was thick.
Yeah.
It was thick. But not 30 pounds thicker, if you know what I'm saying.
I
Because
dig
you know
it.
what, like 30 pounds ago, no, those heads wouldn't have been turning.
Mm-mm.
They would have been like that doughy, gross human being. God, why is he here? Not anymore. Not after ST Fat Loss, when I lost 31 pounds in 8 weeks. So Rich lost 35 pounds in 2 months. Fletch is now pushing 50 pounds, stood up at the table, lifted up his shirt, and knuckles deep back into the belly button.
There he goes.
Want to show that depth to Kevin Acee, which he's very
Stop
proud of.
pluralizing the word. It's knuckle deep now. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Very true.
Wow,
Very
yeah.
true.
And he's proud.
ST Fat Loss. That's what we're talking about. We joke about it. But you know what? It actually does. You lose 30 pounds and you start to get a little swagger. You start to feel good, man. You start to feel better about yourself because you feel better inside too. So yeah, you do stand up a little taller. You do raise your head up a little higher because you feel better. And that's a good thing. That is a good thing. So go to stfatloss.com. You schedule a free consultation there. Wayne and Chloe, they'll walk you through what this thing is. They'll show you the healthy way to lose weight quickly. And then most importantly, once you lose the weight, they're going to make sure you keep that weight off. So they'll show you the right way to do it, the healthy way to do this, because there's a lot of unhealthy ways. These prescription medication diets, these fad diets, they're not good for you. They're appetite suppressants. That's all. So you're taking an injection, then you don't eat. As soon as you stop taking the injections, boom, you're eating again. You gain all the weight right back. They call that yo-yo diet, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to lose the weight and then gain it all back, because you're going to gain that back and then some, and then you're going to be even more sad than when you started. stfatloss.com. stfatloss.com. Go there right now.
Coming up next, the NBA has done something nobody's done before. We'll dig in. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, we are days away, literally less than a handful of days away from our huge, and I mean huge, big game tailgate party, which is going to be held at K&B Bistro in Del Cerro. We're super pumped to invite everybody who's listening. You don't have to do anything but show up. And when you get there, you can sign up for your opportunity to win great prizes like a 65-inch flat screen television. We'll drop it off at your house. You'll have that for the big game. Also, speaking of which, we got to make sure we secure that today, gentlemen. Also,
True. Forgot all about that.
Yeah. Also, we're giving away a free round of golf for you and 3 of your friends. That's a foursome at Cottonwood Golf Club. That's provided by Long Ball Hard Iced Tea. I'm struggling with these words. I'm wrestling with my tongue right now. Velocity. You're going to go paintballing with your friend. You can win a trip out there. We've got the 2-night stay at the Seabird Resort. We got the Pit Viper sunglasses.
Probably put a list together.
Yeah, maybe that'd be good.
Yeah. Try to rattle this off through our heads.
But it's
on
awesome.
Twitter.
Yeah.
You can go check out the full list of prizes, everything on Twitter at Big Rich TD Fletch. And come on out to, if you like the show, this is your chance. Come on out. We'd love to see you.
Hang with us. All right. So the NBA unveils a state-of-the-art LED court for the All-Star game, which will be held in Texas. So this is coming up for 2024, February 17th. It's going to be on TNT like it normally is. So what's interesting about this is, and you look at it, and it is awesome. If you find
insane,
it's insane. I think this is one of the coolest things the NBA has done in a very long time.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
Wow. If I had to guess, I was going to say TD was going to hate it.
No, I mean, I think it's cool. You know what I think, though, is just like the Niners are complaining that the field's too soft. I think that NBA players are going to say this doesn't feel like a real court.
I'm fairly certain the NBA or its officials, they're going to send out a memo to the players saying, like, whatever you do, please do not complain about the court, because we're trying to do something cool for the fans. You guys barely play anyways, so let's not make this a thing. We're okay with you guys scoring 290 points during an all-star game because you're heaving up half-court shots all game long and nobody's actually trying. So if you have a problem with the court, keep it to yourself.
You know what I want them to do with this, though?
What?
Like do the mind tricks where all of a sudden the court becomes like the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
And you're standing over this cavernous drop.
You need to check it out. Where is this post? It's at NBA on Twitter or X. NBA. You can see this court. It is spectacular.
But what it's going to become is a gigantic commercial that runs underneath it. Ruffles potato chips.
yeah. But I could see like there being really cool things. Like you could have the little spots where they have to shoot the 3-pointers in the 3-point competition.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
You know, they already showed it as players run on the court. There's going to be like little flame trailers,
like NBA Jam.
Like NBA Jam. Exactly right.
My mind also went to the dunk contest and stuff because you have the graphics they're going to be able to do on the court after somebody dunks. So like the big explosions you'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
I think it's going to be awesome.
That's going to be cool. Also, like if they want, they could do a ton of nudity.
Yeah, that's
right on the court. Yeah.
Can you imagine if somebody runs the wrong software and you just see hardcore stuff going on the court?
What about other software?
What?
Galaga.
Oh my God, video games? Can you imagine playing video games from
Call of Duty?
I'm gonna pass out.
You would go gaga for Galaga.
Well, so
it's a good podcast.
This is very cool, and trust me, I'm all in. I can't wait to watch this aspect of the NBA All-Star game. However, I will say this, and this is going to be a problem for the NBA very soon. People get used to this stuff fast.
Yeah.
They don't. I mean, look, it's just part of life. We actually talked about this in reference to something else recently. Like, you just get used to a level of excitement, and then that becomes baseline, and then you need to chase more excitement and more excitement and more excitement. It's like technology. You get so tired of looking at an iPhone when you have an iPhone for 2 years because 2 generations of new iPhones have come out, and you're like, well, the new one has 3 cameras on the back, and it's got the AI face filters, and I need the new one because your phone, which works perfectly fine as a phone and as a personal computer in your hand, it's not the new one. So you're chasing that feeling, and that's exactly what's going to happen with this.
Well, and this is gimmicky. I mean, I get it. I understand what you're doing. You're looking for some flash. You're looking for some Instagram post. You're looking for some love here, and it's going to work, but it probably only works once.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you got to think of something better next year.
Yeah. It's one of those Pandora boxes that the NBA has opened for themselves. In-season tournament, you remember they changed the courts to show people like, okay, these are in-season tournament days. So
the only reason you knew it was an in-season tournament.
We're going to lay down a new court. This way we're like, see, look, we're doing it. We're doing it, guys. But this like that, eventually you're going to get used to it. And then, like you said, you're going to have to change. You have to up the ante. You're going to have to actually have live bears on the court instead of them just being in the LEDs underneath the floor.
Honestly, if they had live bears on the court, there'd be a lot of viewership in the NBA.
Like, it's literally the Memphis Grizzlies. Like, there are actual grizzly bears.
And if there were, Rich, and you were playing on Prize Picks, you wouldn't have to worry about it because there's an injury insurance policy on Prize Picks. If one of your players gets injured in the first half
or death,
they're rebooted in the second half. So you're
right.
good to go. Rich, can I actually tell you something you would love about Prize Picks?
I'm really excited to hear it.
Have you heard of Power Slap?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's Dana White's new big thing.
Yeah.
Dude, and it is electric.
It is incredible. It's on Prize Picks yesterday. I freaking won on Power Slap.
Wow.
Because you're able to do combos. So they just take the one individual match and they go more or less than 3.5 slaps for the most part. And so if it lasts to 4 slaps, which it did last yesterday, you can win on Prize Picks with Power Slap. That is really cool, but also NBA season is in full swing right now. The big game is right around the corner, and Patrick Mahomes is available right now at a discount for 0.5 yards, more or less than 0.5 passing yards. I think you are going to be okay going with more on that one. If you love playing fantasy sports, do what I do. Take the sports action to the next level with Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app on the freaking continent. This is Fletch, and use my promo code prizepicks.com/Fletch. You're going to get a first deposit match up to $100, or download the app, which I'm literally on right now, looking at some power slap matchups for later today. Prize Picks, the app, use promo code Fletch. You're going to get a first deposit match up to $100. I am in sports heaven Football playoffs, full swing. Basketball season really heating up. College basketball going nuts. There's no better way to turn all the big games into 100 times your money than with Prize Picks. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of stats, and place your entry. It's that easy. You can turn $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps. I love the easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and huge selection of players and stat options. I just mentioned Power Slap, but you could also go to tennis, a bunch of soccer. MLB season-long ones just became available. And then, of course, the Prize Pick specials. Today is Taco Tuesday. You want to go check that out. You get huge discounts, huge promotions going on Taco Tuesday and Flex Friday. PrizePicks.com/Fletch. PrizePicks.com/Fletch. Get a first deposit match up to $100. Hour 3 coming up next. We're number 3, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by the Bart Hall Show at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Starting off with Aztecs Hoops, the boys are on the road tonight for a Mountain West matchup with Air Force at the Cadet Fieldhouse in Colorado Springs. Pre-game coverage gets underway at 7. Tip-off at 7:30. NBA last night, Lakers get a win 124-118 over the Hornets. Clippers win 149-144 over the Hawks. Kawhi Leonard had 36. And in the NFL, announced yesterday by Roger Goodell that opening week next season will include an Eagles game played in Brazil on the first Friday of the NFL season. So we'll have Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday games in the first week. Don't miss the biggest outdoor recreation event of the year, the 46th annual Hall Family Show, the Bart Hall Show, February 15th to the 18th at the Del Mar Fairgrounds, fishing, boating, and so much more. Get your tickets now at hallshows.com.
Happy Tuesday to all who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you until 9 o'clock. Final hour of the show here. We're going to be joined by Kevin Acee, beat writer, covers the Padres for the San Diego Union Tribune. Super excited to catch up with Kevin. We saw him last night. First time we've ever, the three of us, dined together with Kevin Acee. Lovely man. Really kind to join us. A long drive from where he lives, so it was really fun catching up with him last night. And we did talk a little Padres. Honestly, we did a lot of talking about other stuff also. It was just a fun night at Barbusa. Delicious food there. If you haven't been in Little Italy, check them out.
So, Richie, something that happened actually before Kevin got there. You and I were sitting at the bar, and I pointed out to you on the TV the little ticker that said the Eagles are going to play a game in Brazil, opening week of the NFL season. And you immediately had the reaction, damn it, I did everything too early. I played college football too early. I played in the NFL too early. Could you imagine me in Brazil?
I mean, it's just absurd. Now, at that point, I was taken. I had my beautiful wife, Annie, alongside me on my journey, but I can't even imagine if I was a young football player, single in Sao Paulo for a week, getting ready to play the only ever regular season NFL game in that country. You would be the toast of the town. There would be, I would guess dozens, hundreds of Brazilian women who are just interested in finding out who you are, what you're up to, where you're going. And I would accommodate those Brazilian women if I was a single young man playing in the NFL. So yeah, there are a lot of things, Fletch, that when I go back and I look at life and I say, if I could only have been born just a couple of years, maybe a decade later, things might have worked out a little bit different for old Tricky Dick.
Now, how many teams around the league are crossing their fingers right now that they're the other team picked to play against the Eagles?
31?
Yeah.
31 locker rooms, including the two who are currently at the Super Bowl site. They're like, honestly, God, like, they're praying, like I just picture like praying at night, like, God, listen, I mean, do I want to win the Super Bowl? Yes, I definitely do. But I would also really like to go to Brazil. So if we do lose, the consolation prize better be Sao Paulo. Okay.
Well,
the Spirit Santo. Amen.
And it's not every year, but a lot of times they'll take whatever team won the Super Bowl and put them on opening night of the NFL season. So on the Thursday night, so that team won't be going. So is there anybody in the locker room like, I kind of hope we lose?
Yeah, so I was trying to find out. I thought I read something earlier. Steelers have a 1 in 9 chance of being the team opposite of the Eagles. So it could be Eagles Steelers there in Brazil.
Huge Steelers contingent of the fan base in Brazil. Everybody knows that.
Of course, at one of their largest areas for fans.
We are
so many towels shipped to Brazil.
So many terrible towels are in Brazil. We got to get to halftime in a little bit here. Travis Dale is going to weave our way through all of the sports updates that we may have missed. But before we get to that, we got to give you the four corners. That's right. We traverse the map to bring you all of the stories that you may have missed today
Mhm.
in this very special segment we only do on Tuesdays.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've never ever not done it on a Tuesday,
Nope.
nor will we ever do it on a different day. Oh wow.
I like that a lot.
It's four
Yeah.
corners.
Yeah, it's just four corners, everybody.
Okay, so you lead us off, TD.
Okay.
Where are we going first?
We're starting with Megan Fox.
Right.
Okay.
Perfect.
Of course.
Hell yeah.
Of course.
Super
Hashtag
Bowl week,
sports.
Niners, Chiefs. We head to Megan Fox.
Is this 2012? Because I'm here for it.
Well, no, it's 2023, and Megan Fox is here for you in chainmail. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. So she posts a picture online of her only in chainmail, and I believe there's a second photo. There you go.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So she looks fantastic.
She does.
The internet divided over this, guys.
Why?
She doesn't even look like Megan Fox.
That's why they're upset. They think that she's turning into her fiance, Machine Gun Kelly, the female version. They're very upset.
I think they drink each other's blood.
Whoa. Yeah, I read that too. Why are we upset by this? If that's what Machine Gun Kelly looks like, I want more Machine Gun
hang on.
Kelly.
TD, pull up like Transformers 1 Megan Fox.
Okay,
It
yeah.
goes side by side with the two pictures. It's a different human being.
But she was so young back then. I mean, people
Yeah.
change. I mean, sometimes, I went through my chainmail phase. You guys remember?
I think you're still in it.
Here she is,
Jeez.
working on the car.
Yep.
That
Okay.
picture.
Like
Okay.
one does.
And then where's chainmail at?
Okay, let's go back to that. Dude, I'm fine with both.
Yeah, I mean, chainmail.
Different people.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
but look at you. Look
a
at
good
you
point.
10 years ago.
Or look at Mexico Ben like 4 months ago.
You
That's
said
true.
Mexico Ben.
Mexico Ben.
I love how you're like, yeah, I left him in Mexico.
I did. That was 278-pound Ben. We don't like him.
Let's move on to this story. Four corners, again, spanning the map to give you the best stories available today. Country music legend Toby Keith passed away at the age of 62. I had no idea that he was struggling with cancer, but apparently that's what took the superstar in country music. I mean, this is truly a crossover star because I was not a country music fan for the longest time, and I still knew who Toby Keith was.
Right.
This guy had anthems. I remember being in frat parties and, going to people's houses for house parties, and you're playing beer pong, and when a Toby Keith song comes on,
Red Solo Cup.
Yeah.
everybody's singing it.
I love this bar.
Dude, yeah.
Or I should have been a cowboy.
He
I
was
wrote your number on the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
super duper talent, and unfortunately gone too soon. 62 is young, fellas.
Yeah.
Toby Keith Greatest Hits Volume 2 was the CD that I always had. Remember the
Volume
portable
2,
CD
yeah, yeah.
players?
Yeah.
The ones that you
Yeah.
walk around with and you have the headphones? I would listen to that nonstop.
That's awesome. Dude,
Volume
yeah, rest
2.
in peace. Rest in peace.
Well, if we're going to stick with the music theme here, Lil Jon. What? Hey, okay. Releasing a new album.
Where does the sweat drip down?
Right. That guy
the window pane.
is, which, by the way,
Oh, boy.
is he going to be out at the halftime show?
I'm talking about skiing.
Skiing. Talking about skiing. He's releasing a new album, a meditation album.
What? Yeah.
Stretch your fingers and then your toes.
Okay.
You relax yourself to your nose. Yeah.
I am so zen right now.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lil Jon is coming out with a meditation album.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, I guess if so, we did music, but we could stick with cancer. Out in the UK, King Charles diagnosed with cancer. We don't know what kind.
Lots of bad news.
Yeah, Charles and his doctors are very, very positive.
Yeah,
That is the most British headline I've ever read. Very, very positive. The king is said to be grateful his cancer was caught very early. The prognosis is good, with a friend saying, you wouldn't even know he had a condition in the news that will lift a shocked nation as the royal family is in crisis. So there you have it.
Yeah, there you have that. Ben, do you carry a wallet?
I do.
Okay. Millennials not carrying wallets anymore. They said, I'm sorry, Gen Z not carrying
I'm
wallets
not Gen Z.
anymore.
That's
What are
younger
you?
than me.
Oh,
I'm
it is?
millennial still.
Oh, you're a millennial.
I'm the cutoff.
Gen Z not carrying wallets, they just use their phone. And then they're saying that if you do carry a wallet, you're now considered old.
I'm also a line straddler. So you're a Gen Z millennial straddler, and I'm a Gen X millennial straddler.
You're
and then
whatever TD actually is. You're on that
I
line.
think I'm a Gen X.
You're Gen Xer.
I believe, yeah.
And then our parents are boomers, right?
Right.
They were the baby boomers
Yeah.
because they came out of all the soldiers coming home from war.
Yeah.
They got it all.
Oink, oink, oink.
Like Donkey Kong. Just bruising some headboards.
God,
Yeah,
man.
dude. I mean,
Yeah,
think about that.
so-
Grandma, Grandpa, why do you have 6 children? We missed each other.
That's right. The war changes a man. Yeah, so apparently you're old if you carry a wallet now. And how do you guys store bananas?
Okay, yeah. I'm so glad that this made the rundown.
On the
so
counter.
check this out.
Okay.
Americans each consume about 26.6 pounds of bananas a year on average. Each.
I might have 1 pound of bananas a year.
Okay.
Banana bread?
I like banana bread, especially Cliff's wife's.
So check this out, though. Collectively, we discard 5 billion past their prime bananas during the same period of time. So experts are sharing how to keep the bananas to last longer.
Right. So the headline is you've been storing your bananas all wrong.
Correct.
Okay, so I store my bananas just sitting on the counter.
Yeah.
You're
Same.
on the counter.
Well, mine's not on the counter. Mine are in a bowl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fletch in a bowl on the counter, not in the fridge.
Yeah, if we ever even buy bananas.
Okay, so they did 4 different methods here. They put the banana in the fridge. They wrap the bananas in a wet paper towel.
Which,
I've never heard of that.
By the way, do not put your bananas in the fridge. I know that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They turn black immediately.
Well, that's what happened here in this scenario. A wet paper towel. They wrapped them in plastic wrap. I've seen that before, where they wrap the top in plastic
Mhm.
and then just sitting on the counter. The best way to store your bananas are just sitting on the counter.
Yeah.
So, no, I have not been storing my bananas all wrong. In fact, I store them just like I buy them at the store.
So just sitting on the counter, that's it?
That's it. That's the best way to store your
Dude, like,
banana.
okay, so you know what drives me nuts? I opened this article to feel like illuminated,
Right.
to feel like, wow,
Right.
they're really doing God's work, because if it weren't for whatever, publication X, Y, or Z, I wouldn't know this life hack that has become very useful to me. I am literally just doing what I've always done with these GD bananas.
Correct. Well, in the NFL, we talked about it briefly, but to open the new NFL season later this year, we're going to have 4 nights of games in 5 days. Thursday, Friday, skip Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Boom. Yeah, how you like that? The official kicking off of the season being a Friday night lights contest in the South American nation of Brazil. Brazil known for their Amazon rainforest, Christ the Redeemer, and actress, of course, Marina Basarin, who has been seen in Firefly, Serenity, Deadpool, Homeland, Gotham, and the Endgame, and is yet to return our invite to the big game tailgate happening this Friday at K&B Bistro in Del Cerro.
Thanks, Maria.
Pretty.
Yeah, yep. Former Titans coach Mike Vrabel may have fallen victim to being too much of a man during his job search this offseason. That's according to the Athletics NFL insider Diana Rossini. During the Athletic Football Show, Rossini recalled a conversation she had with an unnamed NFL general manager who suggested that Vrabel's physical build may have just been too damn intimidating and probably turned teams off.
What a dumb thing. What a dumb thing to say.
He's just too damn manly.
I cannot imagine the NFL executive who was willing to admit, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody felt this way, but when he walked in, he was just too much man for us. Wowzers. Those shoulders, that build, he's like a bull moose. Remind me of Teddy Roosevelt. Oh,
That's right. That's right.
shook us to the core. We said, Michael, please leave. You're scaring us.
Settle down. See yourself out, sir.
We treated him like a live grizzly bear. Somebody maced him. He kept coming.
One of those poking sticks.
We were so scared. Everybody just made sure that they didn't turn their back to him because if he sensed fear, maybe he would attack us.
It is pretty funny the differences we have in body types of NFL head coaches, isn't it? Because you have Dan Campbell, who's this hulking beast of a man who I would put in Mike Vrabel's camp.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Then you have like Andy Reid. His name is Big Red.
Or how about Mike McDonald?
Mike McDaniel.
McDaniel, thank you.
Mike McDonald also kind of a shrimpy little twerp.
Well,
but
yeah.
Mike McDaniel,
Dude, he was on the sideline. He's on the sideline vaping.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm just gonna get my skateboard. I'm gonna.
he looks like a college coding major.
Dude,
Like,
yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're right. There is a vast difference. Yeah, nobody is walking out of a meeting with Mike McDaniel going, you know what the problem was? He was too
intimidating.
Yeah.
Too intimidating.
All right,
Some
what
scores
else?
around the NBA. The Pelicans velocid the Raptors 138-100. The Clippers, my last email, the Hawks 149-144.
I'm running out of steam.
The Warriors Fishnets 109-98. The Mavericks Ashley the 76ers 118-102.
Rick Astley.
Whatever it is.
Never gonna give you up.
Never gonna let you down. The Lakers of the Black Pearl, the Hornets 124-118, and the Cavs fresh maker Sacramento 136-110. Why? What did I say wrong on that one? What? Why are you hitting your hands?
It's just,
What?
you know,
I was
honestly,
really good. I was really proud of those.
it's not you, it's us.
I was really proud.
You did so good.
I had to take a lap for what? Sacramento?
The fresh maker, the Sacramento Kings. Are you kidding me?
Dang it ain't.
Yeah, you get out of here. You sick bastard.
Better if you leave.
There he goes. He's taking a lap.
I do what we're gonna get our first live lap
Oh yeah,
at the remote. Do you have to go all the way around KMB Bistro?
yeah. I suppose we're gonna have to figure out the lap coordinates when we get there. We've never done a remote broadcast doing this show, so we're gonna have to figure that out because there's almost a guarantee that Travis Dale is gonna cost himself a lap. Now halftime, you know, we give the sports updates, and the reason is because people are just look. So many people, they look at their cell phones and they go, gosh, how could I possibly get NBA scores? It's so difficult. So we are providing a service here for our listeners.
Nobody knows who won.
Yeah.
The Cavs won.
So they wait and they wait and they wait and they say, eventually TD will give me those NBA scores that I'm having so hard of a time researching for myself. And then on the other side of halftime, they go, I have no idea who won or lost these games.
The Lakers of the Black Pearl, the Hornets.
Right.
I mean, clearly the Lakers won. That is not clear. Clearly the Lakers won. It's not clear. I mean, they dominated here.
That's never clear.
Wow.
LeBron played every second of that game, by the way.
Oh, LeBron. Ooh, that's actually a storyline. We're far from safe harbor here because we're going to talk some Padres coming up next with Kevin Acee.
Speaking of Curse of the Black Pearl, nicely done. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Far from safe harbor. Go ahead.
But yeah, to wrap up the NBA segment here, I mean, LeBron James is not making it. Let's put it this way. He's being very ostentatious about the fact that he wants new blood in the Lakers locker room. He is tweeting things. He's saying things. Most recently, somebody straight up asked, like, "Hey, so, like, if you were king for a day, like as if he isn't, what would you do to fix this team?" He goes, "That's not my department. That's not what I do here."
Does he work here?
Yeah, he's like, actually, that's somebody else's decision to make. I just play basketball. It's like, LeBron, you do not and have not only played basketball just about your entire career. You've played general manager in many different cities, including the current one you're on. As a matter of fact,
you were in the new Space Jam, buddy. I have a Pez with your head on it.
That too,
actually.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, I do.
Of course you do. Of course you do. It's
Did
in
you
that.
like the movie?
I never saw the movie.
It was,
by the way,
I never saw the movie.
I did watch the movie.
bad.
I watched it with the kids. The kids like the movie. Again, another thing for kids, not adults. So adults with strong Space Jam takes, I'm like, please. What the hell are you doing with your life?
Well, the first one was great. The MJ one.
Yeah, because you watched it when you were a kid, when you were a child.
I think it's
Also-
still be funny today. With Bill Murray.
What?
Bill Murray was in it.
Oh
Yeah, I mean, it's nostalgic.
Right. Yeah, no.
I mean,
it's fine.
but you know,
Yeah, but I mean, if it came to the theater today and you had never seen this movie before, would you be like, "Yep, that's the one"?
Probably with MJ.
When it got to space now.
the reality of the situation though is last night we got a text message from Travis Dale, and he goes, "Guys, I'm on my way to dinner, but I am taking frequent stops on the interstates because I am in a heated eBay battle."
Yeah.
For Ninja Spirit video game from 1990, and I'm not sure if I'm going to win out on this one, gang. So just hang in there. We never got the update at dinner. How did it end?
I lost. I
knew
lost.
it.
I
I knew
lost.
it.
I lost. I got. I was distracted. It was raining. I kept having to stop. I didn't have time. It was going back and forth. I mean, it started out. It was $90. It was $92.50.
Yeah.
It was $95. It was $97.50.
Yeah.
It was me and another guy. So I bid a off number. I put some change in there because now I want to see, like, okay, if it comes down to the final second, do they actually know what I've bid? Because let's say I bid $114.31. Well, you would have to bid $116.81 to go $2.50 more than my bid. That would be the next bid up from that. The only person who would know that is the guy who has the thing posted.
Wow.
So, like, if it were me, I wouldn't know. So I would just go 120. That would be where I'm at. So
What were you trying
I'm
to
saying
buy?
collusion.
He was trying to buy.
A TurboGrafx 16 game, okay? Ninja Spirit.
He was trying to.
What do you play this on?
Yeah.
on a TurboGrafx 16.
What is a TurboGrafx 16?
That's a great question, Fletch.
So
So you remember when we were talking about nostalgia and how like adults shouldn't be the target demographic for Space Jam? Yeah. So all of those things, throw them away when you're talking to Travis Dale, because Travis Dale is a grown child. This man has, you know this already. He has
I've never
8
even heard of these games, though.
He has 8 arcade games in his garage.
What is Tiger Road
yep, okay.
and Ninja Spirit?
So Ninja Spirit, it's. Do you really want to know this?
No.
Okay, I'm saying Ninja Spirit is one of the best games for the TurboGrafx 16.
You were gonna spend $114 on this?
Can I also ask this question? Like, does Sarah like?
Sarah doesn't
Like
know I spent
how
$100.
$114.
How supportive would you say she'll be if Ninja Spirit Tiger Road comes in the mail and all of a sudden you're like, yes. And then she was like, why are you so excited? And you just like ferociously open a package and then you're staring at it, maybe clenched fists. Like that. What
Would you actually have gone up to?
My threshold was about 130. Yeah, that's right where I would have stopped.
Sweet
Yeah.
Jesus.
So you know, if I can get one under that, I mean, it's complete in box, guys. That's what CIB means.
Good point.
Yeah,
That is a good point.
You know what you need?
What? What's that?
You need a visit to the man zone. We need to get you back
You
on
might be
track.
taking your man card away.
Okay, so
You haven't played Ninja Spirit. is all
no.
I'm saying.
We can figure this all out. Me, you, Dr. Roy David, the medical director over at the Man Zone.
Travis, we've done your T-level test. Turns out it's 0.
It's negative. We've never seen a negative number. You have less testosterone than you do blood. It's insane. So Dr. Roy David over at the Man Zone, double board certified plastic surgeon, who's a medical director there, he got me right, and we're soon going to get TD right. Because everything's wrong right now.
Mhm.
Everything is wrong. We don't know what's happened.
$130.
Listen. So check it out.
Yeah.
I actually found one not complete in box when I got home, and at about midnight, I got it for $80.81.
Wow. So you're bidding this up to $130, and you could have spent $50 more than you needed to.
Yeah, but this one isn't complete in box.
You know what? We're going to cancel the rest of the show. We're going to go straight to the Man Zone. That's what we're doing. Okay. So, I am already 5 months into my treatment at the Man Zone. This was stunning. And so this is the reason why I'm actually going to implore when we do leave here, TD to come with me to the Man Zone, because I had no idea that my testosterone was going to be in the low average range. It was nuts. It was news to me. I went into the Man Zone on the recommendation of a friend of mine who used to play in the NFL also, lives out of state, said that he was feeling all these things that I was describing. He goes, yeah, and what I ended up finding out is I had low T. I'm like, oh, you did? I was like, and that's what you're feeling? You're feeling sluggish, tired, waking up with brain fog, things like that. He goes, yep. And he goes, and as soon as I started getting testosterone treatment, all of those symptoms went away. And so I was like, well, maybe I'll go get tested. But again, I wasn't thinking it was going to be me, right? Nobody does. You walk into the clinic, you get a little blood drawn. It was super simple, super comfortable too. You walk into this lounge area where they have beer in the fridge. They kind of got a little bourbon, some glasses out for you. You can watch some sports on the television. And then they call you in, do the quick labs. And then when you get your test results back, if they find out that you're low or in the low average range, they can boost you up. And as soon as I started to, I mean, immediately after taking this testosterone treatment for the first time, I felt the results. It was crazy. Overnight, I started waking up feeling like I had more energy, feeling like I used to feel before I guess these numbers started dipping. So if you're like me, if you're waking up and feeling sluggish, if you're feeling brain fog, if you're feeling like, I don't know, lousy when you go to the gym, you're not recovering as quickly as you used to, or injuries take a really long time to recover from, all of these things could be associated with low T. So check out Dr. Roy David at the Man Zone, super trusted guy. He's my doctor over there. He'll be your administrator as well. You go to themanzone.com. You could book your appointment there. You could call them over at the office. And when you do, tell them Rich sent you. If you're in your 60s, your 50s, your 40s, or heck, if you're in your 30s like I am, I'm 37 and I'm a candidate. So you could be too. You should start getting your testosterone checked annually. It should be a part of what you do when you go in for your routine physicals. Get to themanzone.com. That's themanzone.com.
This update is presented by Staples Stores. Kevin Acee joining in just a second, but we'll start here with Aztecs Hoops. Boys on the road tonight. Tough Mountain West matchup with Air Force at the Cadet Fieldhouse in Colorado Springs. Pre-game coverage getting underway at 7, tip-off at 7:30. NBA last night, Lakers win 124-118 over the Hornets. Clippers win 149-144 over the Hawks. And in the NFL, it was announced yesterday that the Eagles are going to play on the Friday night of the opening week of the NFL season in Brazil. We don't know who they'll be playing against yet. Staples Print Big Sale means the more you print, the more you save. Get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. Ends 2/10/24. See staples.com/print for details. Print more, save more at Staples.
Hanging tough. That's what the start of the song was. It's royalty free, hanging tough.
Guys, it's royalty free Tuesday here on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Yeah, we do this every once in a while now.
Yep. What's not royalty free are Luke Bryan tickets. Well, I guess they are. They are actually royalty free to you if you win. We've got a pair of Luke Bryan tickets that you're gonna want to listen to this segment. You're gonna want to hang on here for the next 5 to 8 minutes because it's going to be severely important that you do if you want to win Luke Bryan tickets.
Yeah. Really, really fun stuff there. Super Bowl week. We are knee deep, really, in news stories trickling out of Vegas as the Chiefs and Niners get prepared to face each other on Sunday. Of course, kickoff is going to be on every television screen. And then immediately after that, here in San Diego, our attention turns to the Padres. Naturally, we're going to have spring training underway as soon as football officially ceases this season. And it's because they're getting ready to go to Seoul, South Korea. And who else is going to Seoul, South Korea? Kevin Acee, beat writer for the Padres, UT San Diego, and our dinner guest last night before we get to anything Padre related.
Right.
Kevin, it was awesome spending time with you last night. How did we do? Like, we were pretty nervous. Kind of felt like a first date. How did we do?
You did well. Let's not make too much of it though. I mean, it was one dinner, right, guys?
Right.
We'll take it one at a time. We'll continue our phone relationship and we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, Kevin, you seem a lot more distant this morning than you did last night.
Right. You guys know how to play it's like you read a book on how to be.
It feels I don't know. We felt much closer last night. That's fine.
If you're saying not to make too much of a deal out of it, too late.
Yeah.
Because you know what, Kevin, don't listen to the podcast today. That's going to be up on the free iHeartRadio app. Maybe you should skip this one. We wrote a love song. Anyways,
we were supposed to wait like 2 days before we texted, and we didn't do that.
Yeah, we just decided to text you this morning and have you come on.
Are those the rules still? Are you supposed to like wait a few days?
I don't know. I've been out of the game for a while.
I think, and also, by the way, nobody texts anymore. It's all this slithering and sliding into DMs and stuff.
That's right.
That's
right.
We don't know that.
But I mean, in the world of Padres baseball, I don't know if we made it past first base.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point. We really we barely stepped out of the dugout. Kev, you're heading to Seoul, South Korea. The Padres season is going to start here. Or at very least, the preseason is going to get underway here. And they don't have like all the pieces they need. They still need like starting pitchers.
Left fielder.
They probably could use one of those. Like they got some spots that they probably should like grab some other players up. It's kind of like playing poker without a full deck of cards. So how they going to play this hand of poker here?
You're totally right. And it's like on the one hand, my first thing is like, yeah, spring training starts. Yeah, they can't start the season with their current outfield, which, consists of a couple players. They can't start the season with not knowing who their fourth, fifth starter is. Yeah, but the season doesn't start until the end of March, So they have time. They will have as complete a team as, they need to compete. But yeah, this is extremely rare. This is like the least complete team that a contender, at least, right? Like, I mean, a team that you expect to
and they expect to be in the playoffs. This is remarkable how many spots there are, how many questions there are. Now, I still think they're a good team, and I still think that they start with a core that on paper is better than most teams. But yes, I mean, it's incredible the fact that how many players they need. And again, I caution, to be a contender. They already have a better team than, they've been for most of their existence, but that's not what the Padres are shooting for anymore.
Yeah, but I think really my question, though, is as you're heading out to Seoul is, will you put your phone in your pocket with the volume on all the way up and play Soul Man by the Blues Brothers as you walk through the airport?
I think it's spelled differently. I think it's a whole different.
Pronounce the same.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds the same. Why do I have to take a lap?
Because that was bad, and
It's your second lap of the day.
But we don't know. Kevin may have really liked it.
Yeah, Kevin. Did you like that joke, or should Travis Dale take a lap for the second time today?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm always honest with you. Like, I don't even get it. Like,
get the hell out. Hey, Kevin, another fun question.
There he goes.
Is Manny Machado healthy?
He is supposedly healthy. Now, what does that mean? And I don't mean to be skeptical, but we'll take injuries with any team. I'm not specifically speaking about the Padres. We'll take injuries as we see them, right? We'll take health as we see it. And is it that Manny Machado is starting at third base opening day and going forward? Is he designated hitter? The thing is, like, Manny Machado has done this a long time. He can sort of ease into spring training. Where's he at the beginning of March? Where is he at the first week of March? What exactly is he doing? That'll give us a much better idea of what he'll be capable of doing, because, look, it's also a long season. And they got to make sure that he's not overdoing it. This was an overdoing injury. And so, but yes, he is supposedly, in Mike Schultz's words, killing the offseason. And that's all you've heard really from when he started to rehab, that he is progressing to be Manny Machado again this season.
Kevin Acee joining us, our Padres insider here on San Diego Sports 760. Back again. We buried the lead. Back again for another year with us here on San Diego Sports 760.
Right.
The man
per his request, I think.
Well, yeah. I mean, he said, "But look, I love those guys so much in the morning. I'll do it gratis." That's what I hear.
Pro bono.
Absolutely, it's absolutely not true.
Add an R.
Made that part up. I want Kevin actually to get hazard pay for his work with us in the morning. Kevin Acee joining us. So wait a second. You have to take another lap.
Did you hear that joke?
No. What did he just say? Get the hell out of here, you sick man. Actually, you know what? I like that joke.
Okay, thank you.
You know what? That one, you can stick around. All right. Speaking of sticking around, Ha-Seong Kim, is he going to be sticking around, Kevin Acee?
Yeah, it's my understanding is the infield is set. That the idea of trading Ha-Seong Kim, maybe some other guys, was that diminished greatly the need, what they figured was the need, or how that would help them and fit into their plans for 2024. That diminished greatly when you get rid of Juan Soto. And look, Ha-Seong Kim, I'm gonna throw it out there, might arguably be the most popular Padres player. I mean, he doesn't have the baggage of Tatis or Machado. He plays his ass off, and people love him. Now, yes, Fernando Tatis Jr. is probably the most popular Padre, but I mean, in San Diego, like, the reaction that Ha-Seong Kim gets is just huge. They're going to Korea. I'm not saying that's the only reason or even a huge reason you keep him. There's just, like, the guy has incredible value. Plus, he's resignable. Like, the money isn't prohibitive. They weren't going to re-sign Juan Soto. I mean, it was almost certain that from the start they weren't going to re-sign Juan Soto. You can re-sign Ha-Seong Kim. That's the kind of player that, you wait and see how this season starts and what he's done, and you can see an extension happen during the season. So, yeah, I don't think Ha-Seong Kim is going anywhere. Always, always. Finally learned my lesson. 4, 5, 6 years into the covering AJ Preller, I learned that you gotta have that caveat. Got to put an asterisk there. To be traded, but I really think that in terms of the talk that was real about Hassan Kim being traded, I don't think that that's something that is on the radar right now.
Hopefully he could play a little outfield. That would be a big bonus. Hey Kevin, awesome seeing you last night. In all seriousness, it
really was, guys.
Right.
Yeah,
it really was.
Yeah, that was more than pleasant. Our pleasure, and we'll do it again definitely in the future, buddy. Safe travels if we don't talk to you before Korea, and keep crushing it, pal.
And
Wait. Why wouldn't you talk before Korea? Let me play the desperate one for a second. What are you talking about? Why
Whoa,
would-
here's the deal.
Why would you even say that?
Well, how the turns have tabled.
How am I supposed to go
Wow.
about my day now? Like, what do you mean?
You know what? We're going to leave you with a cliffhanger. You figure that out.
This is so sad.
What?
This
No,
is
no,
so
no,
sad.
no. We got to keep you wanting, Kevin. Come on. We know how to play this game.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we need
All
some
right, guys.
scarves because these shoulders are cold.
That's right. Yeah. Turning them on you,
Wow.
It
pal.
was really nice to see you, especially you, Travis.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I mean, would you say, like, as of the group,
Oh, that
that you were
hurts.
most impressed
Yeah,
by
that's-
me?
that's
Oh, see, this is why polyamory doesn't work.
okay. It's always a favorite.
We
Thank you.
discussed this at length
And
last
that-
night.
you know what? And that's all we have time for with Kevin Acee. Kevin, there he goes. Kevin Acee.
And we love you.
Oh yeah.
love
Oh
you.
yeah. We love you, Kevin.
Wait, he's
He already-
gone. He's
he-
gone. He's
he'd already
disappeared.
hung up.
Wow, he hung
Wow.
up. Jeez, it happened so fast. Coming up next, speaking of happening so fast, this show is over. Bottom of the barrel on the other side.
That's right.
But first, Travis.
DraftKings, the leader in fantasy sports. They just dropped a brand new fantasy app, Pick Six. Pick Six is the newest way for you to get in on the fantasy football. Action. With DraftKings. That's right. Getting started really easy to do. Download the DraftKings Pick Six app. Sign up using code SD760. What's that again? SD760. Then you're just going to pick between two
gonna
and
say,
six players.
Just add an R.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I'm talking about. I'm ready to play.
right,
That's right. What? No. What? Oh, no, that's not lap worthy. Bring back coffee. SD760. That's the code. Just pick between 2 and 6 NFL players. Choose if they're going to have more or less of a particular stat. For example, will a player have more or less than 100 rushing yards? Or will a player have more than one touchdown? You can track your lineup. You can compete against others for a shot at huge cash prizes. Look, it's a ton of fun, and it's easy to do. Download the DraftKings Pick Six app now. That was the fastest lap ever.
Download the Pick Six app.
That's right. Download the DraftKings Pick Six app now and sign up with code SD760. That's code SD760 only on DraftKings Pick Six. The crown is yours. Approved local P6 states. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER 18 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. Valid only in states where DraftKings Pick Six operates. For up-to-date list of states, please visit dkng.co/Pick6 states. Void where prohibited. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com.
Hey, it's Big Rich. Well, maybe not so big anymore. Let me tell you why. SDFatLoss.com. That's why. Some people called me Big Rich and they were like, hey, maybe we should make a show with some of your friends. I was like, do you guys know Travis Dale? And they said, who? And I was like, no, Travis. Gosh, hey, Travis Dale has been working in radio for 20 years. You know Travis Dale. They're like, does he work here?
What?
And I said, yes.
Is he unvaccinated?
Yeah. There was a part of the conversation. It came up and then they were like, well, shoot, bring him over. I was like, do you guys know Fletch? And they also said no. I'm like, he's standing next to me. I pointed to him just a second ago.
This guy right here.
This feels mean.
No. Hang on.
No, it's fine.
And then here's what happened afterwards. They said they got the three of us together to build this show, and they said, all right, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, here's your problem. And we're like, what? That we never worked together. Like, nah. We're like, is it like we're not really prepared to be radio show hosts? They're like, I was like, then what is it? They go, you guys are super fat, super duper fat.
We actually think it's a problem.
We tried to take the picture portrait and we had to change it to landscape because you're so girthy. That's what they said to us. Anyway, so SCFatLoss.com, the weight loss team over there, Wayne and Chloe, they got us right.
Yeah.
So I went from Big Rich to, I don't know, maybe medium rich.
Like an XL to an L. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm now on 1X on my t-shirts. Look, the point is, if you are looking to lose weight, the best way we found is SDFatLoss.com. They've helped thousands, literally thousands of people lose unwanted pounds. If you're tired of yo-yo dieting, which means you lose a bunch of weight on a fad diet and then you gain it all the way back, you got to go with SDFatLoss.com. That's SDFatLoss.com. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
You know, you always do that, Travis. You never give yourself enough credit.
Yeah.
Well,
don't put yourself down.
Because I'm a realist. I'm a realist.
I say you should put yourself up on a pedestal.
Pectorals.
And now you can be on that pedestal without breaking it thanks to SCFatLoss.com.
I used to break every pedestal.
We tried.
Just crumble.
We're like, why don't we put Travis up on a pedestal? I'm like, have you seen the other pedestals? We're going to have to support that thing. Not anymore. Thank you, Wayne and Chloe.
Right. Before it was just a two-legged stool. Now
we have to add less legs. Take more.
Going with three-legged.
Maybe just one leg. That's all you need. Anyways, guys, look, Luke Bryan, he's coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big deal. He's got a show. And if you want to win tickets to that, the very simple thing to do is call 877-767-4760. That's it. But don't do it right now because Ben will literally hang up on you. You call at 8:58 at 877-767-4760. You're going to go see Luke Bryan with a friend. You're going to get a pair of tickets to go see Luke Bryan. Okay, so all you got to do is tell Fletch who Kevin Acee's favorite on this show is.
Wait, I thought they were doing the most popular Padre.
Yeah, we could do that too. I don't know. We were just bummed out about that whole part of the conversation.
Dumb answer, Kevin.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. You're giving away the answer.
Well, just tell Fletch who Kevin Acee's favorite is, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's cool.
Context clues.
Fine.
This Friday, it's the big game tailgate.
Yeah.
Who's coming out? Let us know online on at Big Rich TD Fletch on Twitter, X, Instagram, TikTok, all the things. And we want to see you out there on Friday. So 7 to 9 a.m. KMB Bistro out in Del Cerro. We're giving away like a million different things. Richie, what are we giving away?
Oh, we're giving away 65-inch television screen, free round of golf, 2-night stay at the Seabird Hotel, a free month of testosterone treatment at the Man Zone. We've got Sombreros Mexican food catering the thing. We got Pit Viper sunglasses to give away. Paintball 4-pack for a group. You got free air and 1,000 paintballs.
SeaWorld tickets, you say that?
Tickets? Yeah, geez.
Come on. Travis Kelce says he listens to his favorite Taylor Swift song every single day. Every day he listens to this song.
What is it?
Anti-hero? It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. He just made this up, right?
That's a weird take.
He just had to find a song. He doesn't know any Taylor Swift songs, does he?
Yeah, somebody was like holding a sign like "I love anti-hero." He's like, yeah, that's the one.
Guys,
That's the one I like.
If you want to go viral, just get Travis Kelce on tape saying something negative about her music.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine what that would do?
We should get AI to do it.
I think we should. Kevin Acee, thank you. Jonas Knox, thank you. If you missed anything, it's up on the free iHeartRadio app. Just search Big Rich TD Fletch. I'll be back with you around 7 o'clock tonight for Aztecs pregame. San Diego State Air Force coming up at 7:30 tonight with Uncle Teddy on the call. Thank you, boys.
Yeah, man. The Herd is next. We'll see you tomorrow.